we stayed at a really nice one up there in Oxford. It was Oxford, and Oxford's not known for their for good hotels.
Yeah.
So, but we did find a good one, and dude, we were like, we went and got like the buggy, to like put all our stuff in. It was in all of our airsoft gear. Like we had to
Oh
haul all that
God.
stuff into the hotel room. So like we come in with like our guns and all of our equipment, helmets, everything,
Oh
and this
yeah.
is all hanging off this one cart. And the hotel people are looking at us like, "What the hell
Oh,
is
like
this?"
we're getting there's an invasion, okay? Holy cow.
Yeah. I was like, "Ah, we're sorry, we're just airsofters."
Welcome, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Dude, you got a great setup, man. Your mic sounds great. You got a nice headset. Appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. I do. I'm a YouTuber, so it makes sense to have a good stuff.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that so much. Yeah, it's nice to have when somebody else is a content creator, like especially where they edit their own videos or they've, tried it or done it and they understand some of the issues that come
Yeah,
up with audio and
I
because
used to I used to stream, and that's
okay.
why I have a bunch of this stuff. Is I streamed on Twitch a long time ago, and it didn't really pan out the way I wanted to,
Yeah.
and so I streamed on YouTube recently, like when I had my knee surgery. We were doing a bunch of airsoft before, and then I had my knee surgery, and I was like, I was on I did couldn't go to work because I tore my ACL, so
Oh,
had to sit out and stuff. So for those 5 months that I had to stay home, I streamed every night, and so it was cool. It did a lot of traction on YouTube, and of course I got back to work, and I haven't really had time to stream, but
all right. Yeah, I got your YouTube channel pulled up because I was looking at a lot of your videos the other day when I saw you signed up. And speaking of, you signed up on the on my website, which it's a really basic form, that I have set up. It's real simple. It's not flashy. I mean, it looks like, one of the most basic Google forms you can get, but it's effective. Okay, and I get a little notification when somebody signs up. So you and I have never met. I actually didn't reach out to you. I didn't know about your airsoft and all your car stuff, which is really cool. We'll get into until you signed up. So why don't you? Well, let me give a shout out to the sponsors real quick, and then I'll have you introduce yourself and tell everybody how you found the Trifecta Airsoft podcast.
all right.
All right. Give a shout out to the sponsors, Skirmish, skirmish.net. If you go there, it's skirmish with a mesh, like the mesh system. It'll focus there. You guys have heard me talk about this forever. I love it. I love the system, even though I've never used it, but I've seen it used and I've watched some games that are being played like in real time, seeing the objectives being taken over. It's really cool. Brandon is the owner of Skirmish, and he developed this system to track individual stats for your gameplay. So all of the objectives you take over when you have to go to respawn, obviously it tracks your death. You can't track your kills obviously yet, but anyway, you can track a lot of things for your individual stats. And so the cool thing is when you go to a big mill sim, there's 700 people there. You get done, you're like, okay, tan team won. And then you go home, you're like, well, how did our team do? And if everyone has these skirmish, if that system was set up there, each individual would know how they did, how many objectives they took over, how long it took to take over, where'd you go on the field at this time, that kind of thing. So it's really awesome. Anyway, and Brandon is a stand-up guy. He stands behind what he's done, and he'll give full support if if there's an issue on the field. Also, shout out to Jackal Tactical. They're a new sponsor. Last couple months, they are up in PA, a couple storefronts. Field and Otherworld Milsim is what they run their events out of. And Paul is the owner up there, Paul Whitman. I had him on the podcast, and then he became a sponsor of the podcast. So shout out to you guys for sponsoring the podcast. Appreciate, much love and respect. So, man, my guest is a mystery to me, which I love. So, introduce yourself, man, and then tell us how you found the channel.
Well, I found it. I kind of found it in a wild way. I'll put it that way. I'm Shawn. I've been going to a bunch of milsims here lately. We got into our first milsim around last year. Me and my crew that I run with, and but yeah, I'm a part of the Screaming Goat Squad. That's Rooster's like the squad leader of it. He owns it, and then we're sponsored by like Doomsday and all. It's a really good. It's a really good deal. But there was the way I found you guys is there was kids. They're speed softers, but they're real. Can we cuss on here? I don't want to.
Oh yeah, there's no rules. There's no rules.
Okay.
Yeah, no censoring, no. Yeah, we'll just go over that real quick. I love to remind people on here anyway. Anyone that watches or listening, if you just skip ahead 20 seconds, but I'm going to go through it again so anyone new. But yeah, we don't censor on here. So these recordings go on every platform out there, audio and video. So if it gets kicked out of something like YouTube or Facebook or whatever because of a word we say. That it's going to be on Rumble. Okay. So it's on everything. We don't self-censor. You don't have to change your verbiage. Just talk normal. Like if you and I were standing at a barbecue together, and having a burger or something or whatever, and then we just met, that's how we talk.
Okay.
Anything goes. Okay.
Well, these speed softers that came to Doomsday, the real asshats, and he was on your podcast. And he was talking. Yeah, he was talking. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking dirt on Doomsday. But if you watch his videos, they were overshooting people. So like one guy, it was really obvious too, and the guy got real mad. You know how airsofters get mad.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
in
the heat of the moment, sure.
Yeah. So there was a guy.
Oh, so is this Landon? Is this the SOG guys?
I'm not sure. I don't know I don't know their name. I just know
okay.
Like I know their channel. If I can remember their channel.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah. So he's talking, so he was on recently and he was talking about was it you guys he was talking about? The Milsim group?
No, now the Milsim group is me, Rooster. They just added a bunch of other guys to it.
Yeah.
Here recently, but me, Rooster, Joker, like we all go to milsims together. And this last milsim I went to, I was running with Veritas. It's another team here in Alabama, or Coleman. Coleman's our like hometown.
Oh, okay.
And Veritas is based in like where Mount Doom was. Mount Doom actually.
Oh, so you're in Alabama. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the guy I was thinking of is in Tennessee. Never mind. So that's not the same one. Sorry, Landon. You're good, bro.
So these guys, they posted a YouTube video, and you could clearly see like he shot a guy, the guy was out, and he was like, "Hey, I'm hit." Okay, so he's like walking off, and the guy like aimed to him, shot him, and then like aimed back, and it was like, dude, what the crap? Like, what are you doing? And then that guy got mad, obviously, and he turned around and come over, and he was like, trying to call him out or whatever.
Right.
And they were just cussing and just trying to go about their speed softer day or whatever. And
okay, that's wild.
But he had recently how I found you guys is one of our guys, Tony, who he like runs Doomsday. He had posted the YouTube video where they were like doing that.
Yeah.
And they actually banned them from Doomsday because of that reason. When I was like, oh my goodness. So, but I started watching your content and I was like, love.
Okay.
So I love podcasts. I'm a producer for a podcast. I'll like shameless plug. Oh,
absolutely.
I'm a producer for two podcasts. It's my podcast, which is Mellow Mates. We just get on there and just basically like this. We talk, it's like we're sitting at a campfire. We talk.
Yeah.
And then the other podcast I'm a producer of, it's pretty massive. It's called Yoder's Talk. It's my boss. I'm not in it. I just produce it. I run the switcher and the audio and stuff like that.
Nice.
But they're they talk about like religious stuff, and servant leadership. If you like that kind of stuff, this is a pretty good podcast to listen to. But they're almost 50,000 subscribers right now.
Oh, dude, I'll have to check them out, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, speaking of that, I'm actually a lot's changed in my life in the last 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be starting another podcast. I'll still be doing this one, but I'm going to start another Christian-based, faith-based podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
That's awesome. That's how they are. They talk about, they're very heavy with it. Sometimes those videos will get for religious reasons, YouTube unfortunately,
they ban it? Or are they knocking out?
They don't ban it, but you can't like promote it. So
yep.
Like videos like servant leadership stuff will do very well. They'll get like, thousands and thousands of views.
Yeah.
And but like as soon as you start throwing like religion in and politics and stuff, YouTube's like shuts it down.
Oh yeah.
It'll stay up, but it's like compressed.
It's shadow banned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are very, very used to that, unfortunately, in the airsoft industry. Online with all this stuff, because most airsofters have felt that sting over the last 4 years.
My another shout out. I'm sorry.
No, dude, this is about promoting you and your stuff, like 100%. That's what. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My buddy Nick, I run with him at Milsims. He's on Team Veritas and here in Coleman, and he runs with us like Screaming Goat Squad. Me, and I'm like his right hand guy. He's a recon guy, but he's got a channel that he just busted 1,000 subscribers finally.
Nice.
But he was getting his channel is Airsoft Nick, and he was getting pushed left and right. Like he would post a video and he'd unlist it, and it would be like it would be flagged for some stupid reason. So he would go back through, fix it. It was ridiculous, but. Yep. He busted 1,000 subscribers. Finally had a video blow up like massively, and it was this last video, the Wargate. I believe because me and him went to Wargate too.
Okay.
And is
that in Alabama?
No, it was in Tennessee, at Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary.
Okay. Yeah.
It was an abandoned prison, dude. It was awesome.
Oh, dude, right?
Yeah.
I've heard of so much of those. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm working on my video right now for Wargate 2, but it's just taking forever because I filmed so much stuff.
Bro, I'm telling you, kudos. When I first of all, kudos to Kiki Mustang, Novrich, Silo, Airsoft Alphonse, all you guys that have been doing this for years and film. Anyone that's done it, that's filmed their own gameplay and then try to make a good video out of it, and you've got 8 hours of film, bro, kudos to anyone that puts out. It's some work, okay? Yeah. Even if you have a fast computer, it's some work.
And multiple cams. You got like face cam, scope cam, regular cam, it's
and syncing all those up.
Dude, yeah.
My computer would just catch on fire. Okay, I could barely edit the shit I'm doing now. So I just found the Airsoft Nick's channel. Yeah, I never heard of him. Yeah, he just busted he's only got 21 videos too.
Yeah, he moved fast. He was quick about it. He used to he had another YouTube channel he would post like, personal content on, but it never took off like, he wanted to. We streamed together. Me and him streamed. When I told you I used to stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
Me and him streamed for a year straight, every single night. It was like almost 8 hours a night. And we were like trying our best to become streamers. And
now you were doing gaming?
Yeah, we were gaming a lot. PUBG had just come out. Like it was still hot. So
that's fun.
We spent like a whole year of our lives just streaming together and trying to make it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it wasn't the right time at the moment.
I guess. You never know, man. It's so weird how some of these things blow up and some don't and whatever.
Yeah. I was making like I was making like content, just random content. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was posting
Yeah.
gaming videos, I was streaming, and I would post like videos of me like walking wheelies on motorcycles and stuff like that. And then one day the Gambler 500 came around, and they started in they were already established in Alabama, and they were like, my buddy was like, dude, we should do this. I was like, yeah,
What is it now?
it's Gambler 500. It's like you take a $500 car,
Uh-huh.
and you know just drive it in through these obstacles and courses, and they'll have like throughout Alabama, and you see if you could drive 500 miles in it. And if you make it, you did it. And then if you didn't, your car broke down or whatever. But the objective is to pick up as much trash and keep the woods clean as possible, and off road, while you're doing it.
What?
Yeah. So
That's
when you
crazy.
and we've been pulled over. Like, we'll be in these cars that does not look like they need to be on the road. you know?
Right. Missing the front grill. You got exposed radiator, no hood. Like this thing. Okay.
So we were out in Talladega Forest one time, and the game warden come around, and he was like, what are you guys doing? Because like I said, these cars do not look like they need to be on the road. It was like lifted Civics on 30s. Like, there was a lot of stuff crazy out there. And like, I had a Mazda Miata that I was driving on Razor tires. So that's insane.
Bro. Holy shit.
So
Okay.
he like come up to us, and we're like, oh, we're picking up trash, and we just want to ride. And he was like, oh wow, because we had like bags of trash that we had picked up, and he was like, dude, you guys are doing like one of the coolest things ever. And it was a cool little deal.
I've got to look this up, man. Gambler 500. I've never heard of it. I mean, this sounds cool. So you're driving through, and what do? You stop and you get out and you go pick up trash.
Yeah. So you're just like rallying around a forest, or you're rallying around, wherever, and you start at one point and you end at another point, and you try to at least go 500 miles usually. And then through those little sections of off road, you'll sit there and go through the course and stuff, but also you'll get out and like, help pick up trash and clear the trail so we can keep riding. And
Oh my God. Do you mind if I share the screen and show it real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, this is really cool. I love car stuff too. I just, where's my share screen? Good Lord. Oh, here we go. All right. So this is the website for it, I guess, right? So how do you say this word?
I could not tell you. The Chutes
County
Fair, yeah.
Fairgrounds? Okay.
Tate was the one that started it all, and he done it as like just a fun thing. You see that car out there is insane.
This one?
Yeah.
That is, I mean, this is cool, bro.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did they stream this and do all kind of like videos and stuff for it?
Oh yeah. I don't know if they like stream it necessarily, but they do. They
record it and post it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Donut did like a big thing on them one time. That was pretty cool. They like went out for like 3 days and hung out with them.
So is it always in Alabama? Because this one's Moab, which is in Utah.
So it originated in Oregon.
Oh.
And every state has a branch of the Gambler 500. Now.
That's cool.
So we have like the Alabama Gambler 500, and Mississippi has like the Mississippi Gambler 500, and Tennessee, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's it gets crazy. Like,
that's awesome.
I've got a ton of videos on it on my channel where
okay.
We went and and done the rally or whatever, and just went nuts with it. It's cool.
That is awesome, dude. Okay.
But that's where my channel like kind of took off. I was at like 400 subscribers.
Okay.
And this was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was at like 400 subscribers, and we did that. We did a full build on a Subaru, and it took like 3 days to build it. and we did the gambler, and it blew up. My channel went over 1,000 subscribers,
Oh,
and it
dude,
was
I'll
all.
bet.
And then ever since then, we've just been posting all kinds of crazy content, and I got into airsoft. We got into airsoft like years ago. We all bought like Lancer tactical guns, like
Oh
Gen
yeah,
twos,
yeah.
back when they were like new.
Uh-huh.
And we like kind of me, Nick, and our buddy Jason. We kind of shot each other. And we was like, this kind of sucks. I don't like this. And then we all put the guns down. Never went. Never played after that. And then Nick, he was actually, he was like, man, I still got my airsoft gun. We should go at least try. I was like, yeah. So we started looking up like YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we were looking at mil sims. I was like, yeah, that would be badass. We should try that.
Yeah.
So I'd sold mine, years ago. So I went and bought another Gen 2 and Gen 2 Lancer. And then we went to Mount Doom, our local field, and we've been hooked ever since. We went to Mount Doom all the way up to my surgery. And then soon as I hit surgery, Nick and Cody got put on Veritas. And
Oh shit.
yeah, so I was almost there. I was almost there. And then I come out of surgery.
Yeah.
And then Cody had a baby, and Nick had a ton of stuff going on, so we wasn't all able to play together a lot. So I was going to Doomsday in Huntsville and Mount Doom as well. So I was like transitioning back and forth. And Screaming Goat Squad seen me up there at Doomsday, and they approached me because I was playing with their team and stuff, and they approached me and it's like, hey, we would like to have you. You're a badass player. We should, we'd like to have you a part of our team. So we sat down and went through the logistics of it, and I got to be a part of their team.
Nice.
And then we decided, we were like, let's go to some mil sims. Let's try this. If we don't like it, we won't do it. And then we've been addicted ever since. That's all we do now is go to mil sims.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go to surgery. So you had this injury, and your buddies go on a team. It's like you're probably feeling like a damn college football player that's about to get picked up, and then you get injured. You're like, oh shit, and your friends just move on without you.
Yeah. But they've been on. I started prospecting for Veritas in October of last year. And that's when I had got better. Well, I didn't get better. I come out of knee surgery, and they were like, hey, let's go, on the field. So I was just like walking around and hiding behind stuff and shooting, but I was still, I was doing okay still, and walking around with a brace and stuff.
Okay.
And, then Veritas approached me and was like, hey, do you want to be a prospect for Veritas? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And then after I became a prospect, and you had to be a prospect for like 6 months, and that's where you like work the events, and play with the guys, get to know them, and then they'll have like a big team meeting, and they're like, hey, we want you on the team, and then you join them. And but during that time, I joined Screaming Goat Squad, and so I was like, I didn't know if they even knew who I was, still, because Mount Doom shut down, and that was like a sad day.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they completely Doug just wanted to retire, I guess, because he got rid of he got rid of everything, and then eventually just shut down. He's like, I'm not having events here anymore. I think he just wanted to retire and live on his land.
Yeah, right.
So. But that's what I would want to do. I'd be like, hey, no, everybody know. Go away. Let me live my life.
That's what happened to one of the fields around us. I think the very first mil sim that my boys went to was a Vietnam event. And here in South Carolina, it was called ESQUE. ESQUE, I believe, is what it was. I think it was like the landowner's last name or something like that, and they had started a field. What it was it was a church group, and after church on Sundays, they would meet at this guy's land or property or something like that and do just hang out, just the guys, and they'd bring their sons and everything. Well, then somebody, I think the way it went was like somebody suggested Airsoft, and then they started playing just kind of on their own with the church guys or whatever, and then they were like, and they started bringing more friends, and then it became a thing, and then they started putting on events. So, but that lasted, I think, maybe a year. Like a year into our channel, they were not hosting events. Like they had shut down and stopped doing stuff or whatever. So, and I think it was a similar type of thing. Like they went back to just having their friends and family and stuff or something. But I recently saw they posted something that they're going to be doing an event soon. So anyway, but yeah, very similar story. And I'm sure that's a common thing that happens, because if it does grow kind of a lot, like that, now you're stuck every weekend. Like you really don't have a life. If you work a full-time job and then you do that on the weekends, and it's on your property, like you can't get away from it. It's like you'd have to close for a weekend to be like, oh, I need a break or something. And like, dude, yeah.
But yeah, he shut down, and there was a mill sim over the weekend, and it was for veterans for Airsoft in Camp Liberty in Alabama.
Yes, that's right.
And it was like the only mill sim that was like 10 minutes from me. So,
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went there Friday.
Yeah.
And got chrono, did all that. Got off work, went over there and done all that, and then hung out with the guys. They were going to play night games. And I told them, I was like, I'm not playing night games unless I have night vision. We were at Wargate the first night, and we didn't have night vision. We walked out there and just got shit on.
Oh, dude.
So I was like, oh man. And then the second night I rented night vision, and it was the coolest thing I've ever done. And so I was like, anytime I play night games, I'm getting night vision. There's no questions asked.
For sure. There's one of the guys I had on early on, Gunfather Milsim, shout out. He actually still runs a channel. His YouTube channel is doing really well. He does. He's a SWAT officer. He does, like, with almost 20 years experience on the force, and he does a lot of training videos on tactics and stuff. So. But he's kind of away from the airsoft stuff and doing real steel channel stuffs now. But when we were talking the first time I had him on, he said, "Yeah, there's when you play night games, he's like, there's people with nods and there's dead people or whatever. Like there's no comparison. Like you can't compete. Like that's it.
Yeah. It's awful.
They're like, oh no, you can shine your flashlight. No, bro. Because if you don't know where they're at to shine your flashlight on them, you're just lighting up the sky, saying, "Hey, look at me."
Yeah, that's what Nick said. We were like in a building. We had just breached the building. We went in, we cleared the room, and we seen like a flashlight. We thought we did, and we were like, oh shit. So we don't have nods. We're so at the moment. So we're like, we got our guns down. We're waiting to see if somebody walks around the corner, because there's like a little window, but we're in darkness. We're in pure darkness.
Oh yeah.
And like I lift my gun up and my tracer is blinking, like on the end, and it's just like a little bitty LED light that's blinking. And I just lift my vector up, and the guy just murders me. I'm like, I'm hit. Okay, I'm hit. So I turn my deadlight on. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, just sitting there. And then like Nick, like not saying a word, and he lifts his gun up, and as he's lifting it up, like his tracer's blinking, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh shit, this is it. And then the guy seen him and shot him. But they come through with full nose on and everything. And I was like, dude, no way, I'm not ever doing that again.
Well, not only that, but you're talking earlier about your knee injury, like your ACL. What I'm thinking is. When I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, and when we're doing like night moves, training, bro, roots, rocks, and little dips and divots in the ground, when you got 80 pounds on your back and you're trying to like be aware of your surroundings, that shit is not fun. Like you can twist an ankle and mess up a knee pretty easily if you can't see the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a rough one. That first night was rough, and then the next night we had I'd got night vision, and me and Nick just like it was like, it was literally night and day difference. Like you were walking around, you could see everything.
Yeah,
and there was kids walking around just like wide eyed, couldn't see nothing, and we're just like, They're like, "Oh, I'm out."
You're a superhero. Like
Yeah,
it's
100%.
really like that. Yeah.
And it was nuts. Like Nick could snipe people, and nobody knew where we were, coming from. It was insane. But yeah,
that's cool.
So I told them, I was like, I'll go get some night vision and I'll run night games with you guys. So I went up to the booth. They're like, "Oh nope, we're sold out for the weekend." I was like, okay. So I'm going home. So
right.
So got checked in, chronoed, and just hung out with the boys until it was time to go because they were about to run games or whatever. And then that night, dude, I got a cramp in my calf muscle, and I jumped up in the middle of the night, stretched my leg out, and like pulled my calf muscle. So I didn't even get to. I didn't go to the game until like 3:30 that day. So
you went limping.
Yeah, I played the last game, which was fun. Still, I ran with Veritas. My boy Cody was running with Veritas, so I ran with him. But Screaming Goat Squad was there. I've known Cody for years, so I was like, I'm gonna, Nick's not here, so I'm gonna run with Cody. And my boys over at the Screaming Goat Squad, they understood, so they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll see you on the field. I'm sure we'll meet up at some point." I was like, "Okay." But yeah, it was a good time over there. They were blowing stuff up. They had like guns out there with blanks, like real guns with blanks out there shooting stuff. Dude, it was sick. Dude, it sounded like a war zone out there.
I love that, man. That's so cool. The first milsim I went to with these guys, just to like film and talk to people and stuff. They had mortars, mock mortars set up. It was like with propane tanks and shit, and then the blank firing 50 cal that was mounted on the Humvee, like the old style Humvee.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a cool experience! And so I'm standing out there, and it's a night game. They got the little bird flying around at night, taking people around. So you hear that going. You hear endless explosions from tag and grenades and shit like that.
Yeah.
Thunder bees or whatever. And then they've got the red flares, lit up on the side of the buildings here in South Carolina at GTI. They've got the blank firing 50 cal going, just driving around the whole AO, just shooting. And then the mortar, I mean, just everything, bro. It was really cool. It's really cool.
I'll be going to. I heard Stonebreaker is like that, and so I'm going there the 20th. Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, dude, that GTI is only 2.5 hours from me.
Really?
So, I was thinking about going, but we actually have our grandkids that weekend, and so one of the guys I had on. I've got Discord pulled up over here on the screen. That's why I'm looking at it, because I just got a message this morning from one of the guys I had on, Pink Unicorn. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to GTI for Stonebreaker. Are you going? Because if so, I want to ship all these guns there." He's taking a bunch of guns there for like giveaways and stuff, and I want to ship them to you, and then meet you there or whatever. So I'm still going to have him shipping to me if he wants, and then I'll meet him somewhere, because I'm sure he's flying. He's flying into, I'm guessing, either to Charlotte or, well, now if it's Atlanta, then I probably won't be able to meet him. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of far. But but yeah, anyway, so Stonebreaker, those are the two milsims I went to with my boys. Great experience. Super fun. Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, I'll be there with the Screaming Goat Squad. We got the whole squad going up there, so I think it'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, that's nice. How long of a drive is that from you guys? It's not 6 hours. Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be a decent one.
Yeah, that is.
I got a hotel pretty close. I think I got a hotel like 8 minutes away. So,
oh, nice.
But I had to like make sure it was a good hotel.
Oh, I mean, this place is out in the middle of the woods. So,
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was going through the reviews, like checking to make sure.
Make sure they're not bots.
Yeah, I'm real picky when it comes to like hotels and stuff. Me and
you don't
Nick,
like roaches, man? Come on. And cat piss smell?
Yeah, I told Nick, I was like, I'm finding the hotels. I don't care. I'll pay for it. I do not care. Because like he picked a hotel and for Wargate too. And we went out there, and it was a good hotel. Don't get me wrong, it was a good hotel, but
You had a bunch of people walking around out there at like midnight scratching and,
Dude,
you know, hey man, you got a cigarette or something, you know? Like,
at first we pulled around back, nobody was in it. Like there was not one room booked, and I was like,
oh Lord.
we could just go camp, bro. Let's cut our losses. Let's just go camp. But it was like one of the only hotels, like, you know, within I think 30 to 40 minutes of Wargate too, because it's in, you know, in a valley out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it was fun though. It was super fun. It wasn't a bad hotel, but it was not what I would normally see.
Sure. I mean, when you're paying for something. Yeah, we slept on the field. We went to Stonebreaker both times. We just camped, you know, camped in a tent. Now my boys they've gone to a bunch of mill sims put on by Third Coast, and a handful of they've gone to maybe 6 or 7 at GTI.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, or maybe twice, they did an Airbnb just outside the, you know, it's probably like less than 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
And it was great. They had a good time, but it's, you know, Saturday, they're not getting up early to like go, because they played Friday night, and then they go back, and it's like, it's late, they're hanging out, you know, it's fun, so they're up till like 2 or 3 in the morning, just shooting the shit, and then the next, I think Saturday, the game starts at like 8:30 or something.
Yeah.
Bro, these dudes are like noon, okay, they're walking on the field like, because they overslept, and they're getting breakfast, that kind of shit, but yeah.
Dude, that's how me and Nick were, man. We stayed out so late Friday night playing, and you know, just talking to everybody. I think it was like 1, almost 2 o'clock in the morning when we got back to the hotel, and we still had to like get stuff ready for the next day. So we're in our hotel like scrambling, you know, charging our batteries for our cameras and stuff like that. So we're trying to get all that done. We show up at like 8 at the field, and they said that we were supposed to be on the field by 8. So we're like trying to scramble and get our gear on so we could run up there. And we come like walking up, and they're like, right at the like last bit of the safety briefing, we called it, and then it was like 9:20. We walked out on the field finally. I was like, dude, we gotta get here earlier.
Yeah, the mill sims are fun, man. These kind that have the breaks and stuff like that. I've never been to one. Actually, my boys they've been to one that was continuous, right? A 24-hour. Actually, it was the Vietnam one. That was nonstop. So once they started, I think they started Saturday morning and went to Sunday morning. It was nonstop overnight. But I think that's the only one they've been to that was continuous. All the other ones have been breaks. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do at least one like that. This one had breaks as well. So they stopped at like 4, and night games started at like 7. And then the night games went to like 1 in the morning if you wanted to stay there and do it that long. Right. But they were like scrambling to come up with like game modes to do at night, because there wasn't that many people out there doing that. Yeah,
there's not that many people. Yeah. Well, not only that, it's like you found out, it's one-sided. The one those that have nods and those that are just dead. Okay, because there's no it's not even competition, so it's really unbalanced, which makes it unfun. Okay, not fun. Yeah, for sure.
So I post I post airsoft content, but I'm not like an airsoft channel per se.
Right.
Because I do like right now I'm doing like an everyday April. I'm posting a video every single day, but it's just like a random blog.
Oh, okay.
And then I usually post like car content for the most part.
Yeah.
And just crazy stuff. But the airsoft I'll do like every time we go to like mill sims, I'll try to film and stuff. I'm still got to edit like 3 airsoft like mill sim videos. So it's like, but I've got so many camera angles and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a rough one.
Especially if you're posting all this. I'm going to share your channel if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Especially if you're posting every day.
Yeah, it's
on this stuff, man. That's now the vlog stuff. You probably do you edit a lot of it out, or you just go ahead and just film it and just like F it, let's go?
Well, I'll film, and then if I'll go through and edit it, I'll splice it together and stuff. But
Gotcha.
it's not like I don't have to sit here and
You don't cut all the little stuff out.
yeah,
Right.
I'll record as much as I can, and then I'll cut out like the big gaps and stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, because if you're working on a vehicle, like sometimes, okay, I got to go, like you're setting your camera somewhere on a tripod, and then you have to go get something and you cut out those. Okay, I've done that as well. So when we, I know what you mean about running and and creating different content for different channels. When I started, the first channel I started was a review channel. Well, no, it was a channel for my family, and it just gave me something to do. I have, we live in South Carolina. Some of our family is up north, and so I was like, oh, okay, it'll give me something to do. I'll film the family stuff, the kids and what they're doing. We'll just talk, whatever BS, and then I don't care about putting it on YouTube public per se. It just I'll do it for my sisters and my mom and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it gave me something to do. It's kind of the first time I started cutting my teeth on actual video editing, and then so I did that for a little while, and then I started a review channel, and we started that, and then I started a cooking channel, and I hate cooking. So, but I wanted to. I was having so much fun doing the review stuff with my son and my youngest daughter that I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Do something with my kids. My wife and I have five kids. They're all adults now. But I was like, let me do this cooking channel with me and Caitlin, my youngest daughter. So it was fun. But I only did like 5-6 videos. Okay. So, by the way, at this time, I was coming out of being paralyzed. I was on steroids. So I'm sleeping like literally 2 hours a day. I was on prednisone, like the highest amount you could be on for a year. Okay. So I'm going nuts. I was so erratic. I mean, I would have ideas. I had papers everywhere. I was just writing notes of, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this video, and I'm gonna do this video. It's like just all over the place, bro. So I had all these channels, and then we started the Airsoft channel, and then we did the gaming channel, Trifecta Airsoft Gaming. But anyway, so creating all these, listen, I found out real quick, you can't really be consistent with all of that, with one person. And I'm like, nope. So I stuck with the Airsoft one,
So that's what the way I started off was like I was just posting random videos on a channel that's like you probably can't even find anymore.
Yeah.
and then I was like really into motovlogging. Do you know what motovlogging is?
No.
It's like where, people get on a bike and they'll have a helmet strap, or a GoPro strapped to their helmet, and they're just, talking about random stuff. And Do It With Dan was like one of my favorite motovloggers. Just where I got the inspiration to motovlog from. And so
how do you capture the audio when you're going on a motorcycle?
You just have like a microphone
Oh.
hooked into the GoPro and ran inside your helmet.
Oh, okay.
And so I did that for a long time. I probably did that for like 3 years. I only grew the channel to like 100 subscribers.
Whoa.
Like that was it.
Yeah.
And I had a crap load of videos that had a bunch of views on there, but it just never would take off. And then I built this channel, or the one you're looking at.
Yeah.
I built it. It was called The Shawn Wayne at the time. And it was just a vlog channel for the motovlog channel. So you could see my face and what I do. Okay. And it took off. It like got to 400 subscribers in no time.
Quickly.
And then, and then we did the Gambler, and it just pushed it over 1,000. And then it's just been crazy ever since. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love the car, like working on car stuff. Like I followed, one of the first ones I followed was a Bleepin' Jeep.
Yeah.
So, and I used to have a 96 Grand Cherokee, so that I was working on. And yeah, this is cool, man. Yeah, so you got all kind of different videos, man. When I was going through your stuff the other day when I saw you sign up, I was like, okay, you got all kind of stuff, man. You got your Vector over here that you're the airsoft video, but a lot of car videos.
Oh yeah, yeah. I pulled that little Miata right there. I pulled it out of the woods. It'd been sitting for like 5 years. Stripped it, put a motor trans in it, and it was a fun car, dude. It was so fun, but it was loud as shit, man. You had to wear like razors while you was driving because it would like deafen you.
Holy cow!
So, yeah. I ended up selling it to the original owner. Probably, I think I sold it back in November, and then I bought my Coyote in January. That I love that car.
Do you have a video of that too?
Oh yeah, if scroll up a little bit, and then that cold start video. That's where I did like the cold start on it. And then I've got like 2 Jeeps. I've got the Mustang.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a sweet car.
Looks good.
Yeah, and then I've got a rally car. It's like a Ford Focus on 30s. And,
what?
Yeah, it's super fun. That one right there.
Oh, that's the Civic. Okay.
And then that's a fun car. I've had that car for I think 3-4 years, and it's running on 3 cylinders, still kicking. And we jump it. Yeah, we crash it, jump it. Like, dude, we were running through Talladega, and the wheel like broke and like come in.
Oh, and
it just like slid the oil pan like on the ground, and we just like jacked it up and was like, oh, it didn't break it. Let's keep going.
No way.
Yeah.
Did the wheel bearing break?
Yeah, the lower control arm snapped.
Oh yeah.
And it just like the wheel just fell into the car.
Uh-huh.
So we had a parts Focus laying around, so we just like went and stole it and fixed it and took off again.
Bro, did you grow up working on cars? Like, how did you get into mechanic stuff? Okay.
So I quit school when I was like 16 years old. You know, stay in school, kids. You know?
Yeah.
But I quit school when I was like 16. Mm-hmm. I was in auto technology, and the story behind it was I was taking auto technology, and by the time I was 18 and out of school, I would have a job, and I would be a technician or whatever.
Sure.
And so what happened was, like, my guidance counselor pulled me out of auto tech, or not auto tech. We have a school. It's I don't know what you call it. We call it ag, and it's a tech school.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
He pulled me out of tech school and put me back in like regular school. And I was like, I want to be in auto technology. Like, I could care less about this stuff. I want to be there.
Right.
That's what I want to do. And he was like, no, you got to make up a biology credit. So he pulled me out of tech school to make up a biology credit.
So what'd you do? Dissect a frog or something?
Yeah, I didn't even go.
Oh shit! You're like, hell with that biology credit, okay?
So I said, hey, my schedule's kind of messed up. Can you fix it? I'm need to be back over at tech. And he was like, oh no, you got to stay here, and maybe next semester, maybe depending on how this credit goes. And I was like, well, I'm gonna give my mom a call real quick. She'll come up here and sign some papers, and then I'll just be out of here.
Oh, shit.
And he was like, "Nah, you ain't doing all that." And I like pulled my cell phone out, because back then, cell phones were like looked at like guns, dude. You can't have those in school.
Oh yeah.
And nowadays, kids can have cell phones in school and stuff. Well, pulled my phone out, and I'm like walking out of the guidance counselor's office, and he's like following me. He's like, "Hey, give me your phone." And I'm like calling my mom, and my mom, I was like telling my mom, I was like, please look, I'll go get my GED. I'll start work with Leon. I'll do all this. And she was like, of course, my mom, she argued with me for like, an hour. She was like, no, I'm not doing this, blah, blah. I was like, Mom, I do not want to be here. I'm going to walk home.
Yeah.
If you don't come, sign these papers.
Right.
So she ended up coming up there. We talked it out, and she, signed the papers for me to quit. And then I went and started my job at Leon's Marina, and ended up becoming like a boat technician, like a certified marine tech.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that for like 5 years.
Yeah.
I was doing that for a long time. And
just like motor, or all boat motors and stuff. And
yeah, I was doing inboards and outboards.
Okay.
And working on that kind of stuff. And then on the side, or not on the side, but I was doing my own stuff with cars, like at home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Turned 18, had my first child, and so started family like immediately.
Oh
like,
wow. Yeah.
As soon as I started,
man.
as soon as I hit 18.
Yeah.
And so I decided to try the technician world out and get back into it. So I started, doing jobs here and there with like different auto tech places, and eventually I got to where I could do automotive advisor, and I started doing those positions.
Oh, okay.
And become an advisor for like big companies, and then I was like, I started getting into these YouTube stuff and started filming videos, which I've always done that, but now I really got into it. I was like, I really want to like make something. I really want to make money from YouTube and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So started filming, like getting into it. Started editing with like a cracked version of Sony Vegas Pro. I guess like everybody did.
Uh-huh.
But
that's funny. Yep.
Started getting into that, like the technical stuff, and I was like, I want to do this for a living. So I hit up a production company, and no experience but this, just cameras and stuff like that. No experience really at all.
Yeah.
And so I jumped into a production company, and he had me like going around churches installing equipment, and that's kind of how I learned how to do all that.
Oh, okay.
And then I started working for this plant. This is where my channel kind of like died for like 7 months. Is I was like, this plant offered me a job. It's plant,
Oh yeah.
Plant offered me a job. It was second shift, which sucked, but it was good money. So I started working there, and I worked there for 7 months, and it was the worst thing I probably ever could do because it killed my channel.
Yeah.
I was tired every day.
Oh yeah.
Not worth it at all. But I started like seeking jobs because I was just coming home. I was like super unhappy. So I started seeking out jobs, and then I found Backstage Productions. I started working there as an LED wall tech. And so I started traveling the United States with them, setting up like LED walls and stuff. It was pretty cool.
That's cool, dude. I mean, you go from this. What were you doing in the factory? What were you doing? What kind of work?
I was a clamp truck driver.
Oh yeah. So they were doing rolls.
I was picking up rolls and setting them down on the. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I did.
Really?
Well, I didn't. So we actually did everything. So one of the factories I worked in, one of the many, I've worked in a lot since '94, a lot of different ones, but we made big rolls of plastic film. So it was blown film, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys did?
Ours was we were making corrugated sheets.
Oh, gotcha.
That was like what we made mostly of.
Yep.
So I was picking up like cardboard paper, but rolls of it.
Uh-huh.
And they were like 5,000 to 8,000 pound rolls, and we'd just clamp it, pick it up, and I'd turn it sideways, and I'd just put it on a thing. It rolled it into the machine.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha. Yeah.
But everybody there was so hot-headed, dude.
Oh yeah, that's every factory ever, bro. I'm telling you, it really is.
Dude, they were so hot-headed, and they would get mad at like the littlest thing, and they would just cuss you out. You're like, I will leave right now, bro. I don't care about this job. I will leave right now.
Oh no, this is, I was used to this. Okay. This is like, yeah. Okay. People that work on the factory floor, all that politically correct bullshit, that doesn't apply on the floor. I promise you. Okay. There's shit flying everywhere. You're standing there talking, and maintenance guys are working on something, and a duct tape roll goes flying by your head, or a wrench gets thrown somewhere. It's like everyone just backs away. Nobody gets in trouble. Okay. Cause, everyone understands it's like 120 degrees in the plant, freaking sweating, and the machines aren't running right. Yeah. And they want everything done yesterday. So
yeah, every day. It's like, we should have got this done. And before you came into the shift, this should have been done.
Oh, dude, it's a terrible lifestyle if that stuff gets you down, man. It sucks.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I got to do something else. I can't do this. So I started seeking out just other jobs, and I came across them. So hit them up. They give me a job, and went in as just like in the warehouse, and then they offered me like, hey, you want to travel with us and do this like video stuff? And I was like, yeah,
dude,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I worked with them for a while, and then as crazy as it sounds, I had a massive TV fall on top of me, and that's what like it was on a roll cart, and I was moving it, and when I let go, the wheel had fell off, and I didn't realize it, and the TV fell on top of me and like folded my leg up and
Oh, and
snapped my
that's what
ACL.
I was just going to ask you. I was going to ask you about your ACL, like how you got it. Okay, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, your motorcycle tricks, your Alabama, dirt bike or dirt truck riding, whatever, like picking up trash. You jumped out of your vehicle and to hurry up and pick up trash, and you twisted your knee. No, a TV fell on you. What?
Yeah, out of all the things that I've
All the
done,
dangerous shit you're doing, a TV falls on you. Okay.
it's like an insane story to tell somebody because if anybody knows me, like around here, they're like, he should have like died on this motorcycle crash he had years ago, and it was like, no, a TV fell on top of me and it snapped my ACL.
You're like in a clean environment, getting ready to put up some TVs or whatever, light walls and LED stuff and electronics, indoors, like not even in the mud or nothing. And then, you mess up your knee. That's funny, dude.
Yeah, we were in like this big like conference room, and there was like these big like investors, they're in there and they needed the LED wall up so they can like put their presentation up there. And then like I snapped my ACL, and I'm like, I'm laying on the ground and like call my coworker, and I'm like, hey, I need you to come over here. And he's like, why you sound like that? He like walked up, and there's like a TV on top of me.
Oh,
he was like, yeah, he was like, oh no. So he like picked me up, and he's like, all right, we can't like make a big scene because like we don't know if they're gonna like fire backstage or whatever they're gonna do. So I like put my arm around him. We're just like kind of limping out, and we're like, oh, I'm like about to cry, dude.
No, I'm sure.
So we went to the hospital, and they were like, of course I couldn't like walk or whatever. I thought I broke my leg, but they did an X-ray, and they were like, yeah, it's not broke. And he said, you might have like a torn ligament or something, just like keeping you from doing this. He was like, let me like feel your knee real quick. I was like, okay. And he like grabbed my knee, and he like moved it, and he was like, oh. I was like, what? He's like, you should probably go see a orthopedic, or you get a CAT scan or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, maybe. I was like, oh no.
They never want to say how bad it really is,
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So I went and done that, and I've broke my arms and stuff before. Like both arms have been broken, my wrists have been broken, and multiple concussions. Like I've had motorcycle crash after motorcycle crash because I used to do stunts and stuff.
Tricks, yeah.
And so I'm used to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, the feeling that I got when they was like, you have a torn ACL, I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, out of all the stuff I've done, a TV tore my ACL.
Right.
That's insane.
Well, not only that, but most people don't realize if you haven't, like, you can have a broken, when you break a bone, it does hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously it depends on the severity of it. If your femur is sticking out of your skin, then okay, that's pretty bad. But if you just break, like you broke your wrist, I broke mine as well. Falling, okay, put your hands down. I broke my arm, falling, okay, broke my face, okay, my eyebrow was gone, my cheekbone was cracked. So those hurt, but torn ligaments and pulled tendons. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't believe how strong tendons and ligaments are and how hard they are to rehab. Yeah. I mean, it's painful. I'd rather have a broken bone, to be honest.
It took me I was out for 6 weeks. They had me out for 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, you'll be able to go back to work. And I was like, okay, cool. That's awesome. So 6 weeks rolls around. They're like, he like checks my knee. I'm still on crutches. He like checks my knee, and he's like, all right, we're going to start, therapy. And at backstage, they paid for everything because it happened during work hours. Sure. So it's workers' comp and all that. So at the time, I'm getting workers' comp, and I'm, can't do nothing. So I'm just sitting there. I start going to rehab. Dude, it ended up being like a 6-month long process, and they were still like, because of the work that I did, I wasn't allowed to do Like it was either desk work or stay home.
Yeah.
And to heal or whatever. So I about the 6-month mark rolls around. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go broke if I keep doing this. Like, because it was only like $500 a week. I was like, I can't keep doing it. I'm going to go broke.
You had a child? How many?
Yeah, I've got two girls, and my wife, of course.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I'm going to go broke if I keep like doing this. So I denied the disability, and I started looking for jobs, and it had to be a desk job, so they would continue to cover my medical bills and stuff like that.
Right.
So I found my buddy Cody, which I play airsoft with. So it was cool that I was playing airsoft with him, but he was like, hey, don't you like know social media? Like, do you know that kind of stuff? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm on it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I got like the YouTube channel is growing. It's like, yeah, I know social media. And he was like, well, these guys, they're Mennonites. For the Yoders, the Yoders people or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like Mennonites. So for an example, you plug an HDMI in, they're like, oh my gosh, like,
I know.
They don't. Yeah. So,
well, growing up where I grew up in Northeast Ohio, we had a lot of the Mennonites up there. They build the furniture and stuff. They would build like picnic tables and that kind of thing. The Amish, and they were still driving on horse and carriage. So they had no technology where the areas that I was lived around.
Here they did like everything like computer. They're kind of modern,
Okay.
But they didn't have like, some of them don't have like Facebook and stuff like that. But they had a huge Facebook page because they're the biggest. They're the biggest. Yoders like people around. They're like the biggest building company.
Gotcha.
And so they're building buildings and chairs, like you said, and stuff like that.
Barns
So I come along, and they're like, we want to take this to the next level, and we hope you are. We want to know if you're the guy that can do it. I was like, I can definitely try. So they like paid me like $10 more than what I was making at my previous job. Like out of the they asked me what I wanted, and I was like, I want this, and they were like, okay, cool, we'll do it. And I was like, oh my god, this is the easiest interview ever.
Shoot, I should ask for a little bit more. Okay.
So get out there, and I'm like, well, they're paying me good, so I need to like prove that I can do this. So I'd like sit down, and their month of October when I started was their record-breaking month they've ever had, and because it was insane how much money they made. Media. Yeah.
Okay.
It was just because they're like social media and all of everything kind of combined. And then November come around, and he was talking about, man, we need like a show. We're sitting there talking. I was like, dude, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Dude, y'all need to come up with some podcasts, and some sort of podcast and talk about this kind of stuff. And he was like, dude, that's like my dream to just do a podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, I can, I was literally doing this, before I was video switching for backstage and building walls for them. Like, I can do this. I can build you a studio. And that's exactly what we did. Like, we started building a studio and built a YouTube channel, and it went from literally 0 subscribers to almost 50,000 within 4 months. It is insane.
Whoa. That is crazy, dude.
They're at like 40. Cow. Yeah, they're at like 43,000 or something like that.
Holy cow.
It's called Yoder's Talk.
Yeah, I see it. I just started typing it in. It came up on the list. I've seen this dude. Okay, I've seen a couple of these videos.
Have you?
Justin Tanner, conversation about mental health. That's cool, dude.
Yeah, they started back in November of last year.
Okay.
And it's just been crazy.
Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, that's cool, man. Wild.
But so we started that, and then the podcast kind of took off, and so I've kind of stapled myself, I believe, within the company, and then also me and I told you my buddy Nick that runs Airsoft with me.
Yeah,
we go to the mill sims together. me and him started a dealership. Like went through like legitly got our dealer's license
Oh,
and
okay.
tax ID and all that. So we
Yeah.
have a dealership in Holly Pine, and we've been selling cars left and right. So it's been I went from, you know, a broken ACL to
Yeah.
like it amplified so fast within just from when I got off disability in October to
Yeah.
now, which is insane.
Yeah, but so anyone listening or watching us right now, this is a life lesson, okay? So those things didn't come to you because you're by happenstance. A lot of that stuff you're bringing on, attracting yourself, whatever it is, you're open, right? You're constantly
Mm-hmm.
open. You're constantly thinking. You're constantly generating this kind of creative, like, okay, what am I going to do? Because I don't want to sit here and do nothing and live off of this or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
you're in that mode and you're putting things out there, like you're talking to people. You're putting yourself out there, like you're open to these conversations. You're open to opportunities, and you're looking for it. And a lot of people get stuck in this habit of they just get in that rut of going to work, coming home, kind of like finding some kind of entertainment a little bit before they go to sleep, taking care of
Yeah.
the home stuff, and then nothing more. And so their job literally sucks the life out of them because that's all they end up doing, and they lose their creativity. And you got to have some energy, man, for some creativity, because that's where the opportunity doors open up. So anyone watching or listening, go follow this guy for real. I know we're not ending yet, but I'm just saying, like, these are how success stories are built.
Yeah.
It really
And
is.
I had I told Nick, I was like, I have a mindset that like I don't know, I want to do something big.
Yeah.
And so like my YouTube channel is bringing in like, you know, it's not making $1 million a month,
No.
but it's bringing in like some good chunk of change.
Yeah. A few $100 a month or whatever, something to
Yeah.
cover,
And
some
we're
things.
selling cars left and right, and
Hmm.
then I'm making good money. Like I just got a raise up there at Yoder's, and they put me you know more money than I've ever made in my entire lifetime.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But all that work you did for the past couple years, all of these
Mhm.
ideas, all of this, all that stuff you put time into with experience, like you wouldn't be able to do that what you're doing with the Yoders if you went and started YouTube and started learning on your own, like how to edit and how to work social media stuff and like all of that stuff. Everything you have now was from the previous few years of work and ideas and creativity and that positive energy that you're willing to you're to be open.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's been a crazy crazy few months or crazy last year.
Yeah, for
It's
sure,
all
man.
happened within a year or so.
Yeah, you come out of being laid up, and that's kind of how I feel. Okay, I feel really blessed in this way because I went through this being paralyzed, this illness, and I went through a lot of changing. Right, I was very humbled through it. Not at first. Okay, it took a while because I'm hard headed, but I really I learned about a lot about myself, and now coming out of that and being out of that, I'm all the things that I would have never started YouTube channels. Okay, I would have never learned how to edit. I wasn't even interested in it. I was get off your phone, get off the TV, let's go outside, let's, I don't know, chop some wood, let's dig a ditch, let's freaking learn how to shoot a gun better. Let me teach you some life skills, these kind of things. And I would have never, when the first time I said to my family, I'm going to start a YouTube channel when I was just getting out of, being able to walk and stuff, they're like, what? You hate YouTube. I'm like, I know. I'm going to do it, okay? I need something for my sanity, all right? And yeah, so I hear you, man. So that's good, dude. You got all kind of stuff going on. I love to talk to people that have all kind of cool stuff going on in their life.
I want to. By the end of the year, I want to at least try to have like a full time YouTube like revenue coming in,
Hmm.
and I'm working on it, and that's what I want anyway. And then we want the car lot to be full time as well.
Sure.
So hopefully hopefully within the next few months, the car lot will be pretty much full time, and then everything kind of just fall into place.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to get Nick to. Nick will be like the first one to leave because he's at a plant right now, and he is like, he's trying to get out of there,
Yeah.
and I do not blame him. I was like, I was doing the same thing at Rust Corps. I don't want to be there, so
Yeah.
He'll be the first one to come out of that, go full time with the car lot, and then hopefully I'll be right there behind him.
Yeah.
But that's the goal by the end of the year, is to be like financially free, and YouTube will be kind of paying for this kind of stuff where we can like go on trips like Mill Sims, film the whole entire process, the traveling, the Mill Sim event itself, and then the travel home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's cool.
We even thought about getting like a van and rigging the van out, or something, or like a box truck, and then rigging it out so we can like put our stuff in there, so we'll have a place to come into and work and stuff like that. It's a work in progress.
Oh yeah, dude. Those are good ideas. When I went to the first Mill Sim with these guys, one of the guys on the field, we were camping out there, so we pulled into the campground, and everybody's coming in on a Friday afternoon, and one of the guys had a similar setup like what you're talking about. He had a big work van.
Mm-hmm.
It was extended, and he was just by himself. He met his team there, but all his stuff, all his airsoft stuff was in this. He had built shelving in there, kind of like a work truck, that you do. And but everything was built specifically for all his gear to go to these Mill Sims. And because he went to multiples, throughout the year, and he was actually in the middle. He had like an air mattress he'd blow up, and it was perfect spot. He had it set up where he could just crawl in there and sleep with the doors closed, so he didn't have to camp on the, sleep on the ground. And, bro, once you get older, man, sleeping on the ground, oh, good God.
Oh,
I did it for both Mill Sims, and it was it's rough. Okay.
That's what Nick was like. I will always get a hotel. He's like, my back is just not it, for camping. And I was like, yeah, I'm right there with you as long as we get a good one, trying to stay in these motels.
Come around a corner with these crackheads hanging out or something. Yeah,
yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of them. That's what a lot of these old motels have turned into. Is a lot of the druggies kind of, they live there.
Oh yeah.
Like, back in the day, hotels didn't offer weekly or, like where people actually live there, right? Like you stay for a week or 10 days, you're gone, right? And it's always constantly rotating. But now it's like there's a ton of people that live in old hotels and these rundown motels and stuff. I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
Dude, we stayed in a really nice one when we went to the American Mill Sims Black Site 3. And it was in Fort McClellan. We stayed at a really nice one up there in Anniston, or Oxford. It was Oxford.
Okay.
And Oxford's not known for their great, for good hotels.
Yeah.
So, but we did find a good one. And dude, we were like, we went and got like the buggy, to like put all our stuff in. It was four of us. It was four of us that went, or three of us. And all of our airsoft gear, like we had to haul all that stuff into the hotel room. So like we come in with like our guns and all of our equipment, helmets, everything. And this is all hanging off this one cart. And the hotel people are looking at us like, what the hell is this?
Like there's an invasion, okay? Holy cow.
I was like, we're sorry, we're just airsofters.
Right.
But, that was fun. The Black Site 3 was like super fun. That was one of my favorites.
So you've been to American Mill Sim.
Mm-hmm.
What other Mill Sim events have you been to?
We went to that one, Wargate, the one at Camp Liberty, and I'm going to Stonebreaker the 20th. And then we want to go to Stormbreaker, which is in June. Nick's wanting to go to there, so I'm just going to tag along with him.
So VFA, Veterans for Airsoft, puts on the one at Camp Liberty that was just this past weekend. And then... and I've had Freddie Lux that runs VFA. I've had him on here. I actually just had him on 3 weeks ago.
he
Forwards, yeah.
actually put in a like an extra thing so I could be with because my team went to um VFA and they called me and said, "Hey man, do you want to go to VFA with us?" I was like, "Of course." And he was like, "I'm gonna put in the thing, so I'm gonna call Freddie and ask him to put in another ticket for us because they're sold out of Turk tickets." And I was like, oh, "Okay." He's like, "Go buy it as soon as I tell you to." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So they like put in an extra spot, and I went in
Oh,
and bought it.
gotcha.
So he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Yeah, we had a good time talking. So you've been to VFA event, American Mill Sim. Who puts on the other ones? The other one you were talking about. Now I know Stonebreaker is Third Coast Airsoft. That's one
Yeah,
next week or 2 weekends from now.
yeah. Milsim Mercs is the one that did the Wargate. This is their
Okay.
second Wargate that they had at that prison.
I'll have to look them up. Milsim Mercs.
Yeah,
I don't think I follow them. There's a lot of Milsim companies that I don't follow yet or don't have not heard of.
there's a lot of them popping up.
There really is.
Like me and Nick were sitting there talking. I was like, dude, we could just like, do this, like,
Yeah.
and rent a factory and put on an event. But we want to be able to play it. Like we don't want to be able to.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to put one on and have to deal with all that, like the insurance and stuff like that. So
Right.
I was like, we got enough going on. Let's just go play.
I know, man. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. There was an event that some newer guys put on that had not put on a lot of events. This is I was talking with somebody like a year and a half ago over in the UK, and this is a big event in the by a new company in a shopping mall, abandoned shopping mall. So I guess there was I don't know if it was a disconnect or miscommunication or something between the ticket sales and like somebody forgot to put a limit on the ticket sales.
Yeah.
So there was like 400 people show up, and it's a normal, medium-sized shopping mall, and they couldn't even like use the whole mall. Right? It was just like blocked off or whatever. So it really should have been like maybe 100, 150 people. It would have been okay, for the size of the place. Then there's 400. So there was literally people that bought tickets and were in the back of there's nowhere to go. They're in the back of the line. They're in they just nowhere to go. And it was very confusing. And so some people think, oh, I'll just throw an event, and you can, if you have your own property, it's way easier, Ballahack Airsoft up in Virginia. He's done that for years. That's his own property that he's had. But I mean, he's been doing events for a long time, and there's a lot that goes into setting up these events. If you want a decent sized one and it to turn out well,
There was a real talk between me, Nick, and Cody, because Cody's got some land in Addison.
Okay.
So he's got like 20 acres out in Addison.
Oh, that's good.
Since Mount Doom closed down, we were like, we need somewhere close to go to because Doomsday is in Huntsville. I mean, is
that like a hour drive or something?
Yeah, it's in Athens. It's like an hour 10-minute drive or something like that from us.
Yeah.
So we were talking on a serious note, like getting some land, maybe starting a small field and seeing what we could do with it. And then the more we got into it, it's like, well, we don't want to run it. But we can't just pay somebody to run it because we're not financially stable enough to do something like that. We would want the airsoft field to be paying for it at least to get somebody out there. And then it's like, who would we get out there to, come run it because they're going to want to play too.
Yeah.
But it was it was like we really wanted to, but it was like I don't think there was going to be a way that me, Nick, and Cody could do that and then still be able to like go and play and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but
you'll figure it out if you have the land available. That's one of the biggest obstacles is location.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have to find a place that's kind of away from everything and everyone. Like there's been events that have been held in the middle of towns, like small towns, but still in the middle of towns, like an abandoned factory, a rundown factory or something, and everyone's freaking out, bro. Like they're getting the cops called them all the time because You know, it looks like an invasion, right? Like, what is this, Red Dawn? You know, what? And especially now with all the crap going on in the world, and our government and the media, and I would be like, okay, who the hell's out here? Okay. So you have to have a really good location, and those aren't cheap. Like GTI, it's got to be expensive to rent, and then the insurance, and then just there's a lot that goes into it. But like the tryhards down in Florida, they've run some events of their own. You know, they had some access to some land or whatever, but they've been a team for a long time, and Laz and his wife they've been airsofting for a very long time.
Yeah,
I'm talking, I don't know, 15, 20 years or something. You know, and a lot of those guys they've been playing as a team for a very long time as well. So but yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, especially a bigger event. And I think nowadays too, man, people like airsoft is kind of, I know it's a small thing, like it's a small hobby, it's a niche thing, whatever. I think what happens is it's almost like airsoft things, the events in real life blow up, like tons of people show up. But online, because it gets shadow banned, it's very small. So I feel like airsoft stuff is the opposite of what normally happens in life, because typically what we see in in life on social media is like all the news stuff. You know, you see all these negative things happen. Oh, don't go to Chicago because look how many this and happened, and you'll get robbed and you'll get killed, and because it's all blowing up on social media. But you go there and you're going, man, this is nice. Like what? So airsoft is the opposite. It's like you look online and you go, oh, these channels and like all this stuff doesn't get very much traction. You're like, oh, it's not that popular. And somebody puts up an event and like that no one's ever heard of, and 500 people show up. It's like, what?
It's insane.
Bro, we don't even have enough tickets. What are you talking? We don't have bracelets. Okay. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. But I believe airsoft is like just getting bigger and bigger by the day.
I do too.
It seems like it. Because ever since we started going to these milsims, we were just like, we keep up with anything airsoft. We just try to keep up with as much as possible. And it's like there's a new event popping up like every month. It seems like it's insane.
It's true. Yeah, man. All right, so you got so this year you've got Stonebreaker, which is in a couple weeks. You've got another. How many milsims you guys planning on going to this year?
I plan on going to. There's in a couple weeks, and then we got a milsim in June 20th or 21st. It's called Stormbreaker, and then there is supposed to be one in September. I can't remember the name of it, but they've got it in our Discord. Lit up, and then the end of the year, which is the one in December. I can't remember the name of it is. Let me look real quick. Serious Viking. It's the big one.
Yeah, that's Third Coast, I believe.
Yep,
that's in Georgia.
Yeah, me, Nick, and the crew are all going to it. I think it's going to be super fun.
That's cool, dude.
We had started a disc. So Facebook shadow bans the crap out of airsoft, which I think everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
There was a huge North Alabama for sale, just a Facebook group. Okay. And it was pretty big in North Alabama, and everybody was a part of it. And so we were like, man, we should do a Discord server. So we did. We created a Discord server it's called Airsoft Stop, and people can sell their airsoft products on there and stuff like that. And we had I think we had pretty close to 40 people a part of it, and then they shut down the North Alabama airsoft Facebook group, and so our Discord kind of blew up.
Oh my God. Yeah. Cause you're the only place to go from there.
So
That's crazy.
me and Nick owned the Discord,
Yeah.
and it just got massive.
Yeah.
And so that's where
That's cool.
we thought it was insane, dude. Because but yeah, as soon as Facebook was like, nope, it's like everybody came to Discord because
Uh-huh.
we were like, hey, join our Discord at events and stuff, and people were just like, especially around North Alabama,
Sure.
and it just people just started flooding into it. So it's gotten it's a pretty successful Discord for the most part.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I've seen Discords that have like specific like locations. Like they'll have separate channels for different areas so
Yeah,
that people can go in there and kind of like meet up, and if they want to do a swap meet kind of thing for their gear,
yeah.
it's helpful.
That's they had just did a Veritas had just did a swap meet. It was their last. Sadly, it was their last event at Mount Doom when because
Mm,
Mount Doom shut down.
yeah.
And then he was like, you can still host the rest of your events here.
Yeah.
You just there's no walk-ons. So they had that swap meet, and then he told them at the swap meet, like, cancel your events. Like, we're done.
Mm,
We're shutting it down.
yeah.
And then Doomsday came up there and bought like all the gear, and then took it to Doomsday, and they're setting up like a little memorial field for Mount Doom. It's pretty cool because Mount Doom's been going for years, man.
That's
It's been
pretty cool
around.
that they're doing that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
They got like one of the trucks, like the old like trucks that has like the Mount Doom symbol on it. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. But they're setting up like a field there for that. I've been to Doomsday a couple times, but ever since we started going to Mill Sims, I haven't been to like local fields
Okay.
in a while.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
the Mill Sims are so so expensive. It's like that's all you want to do.
Yeah, you got to, yeah, the ticket, I mean, there's a lot of prep that goes into it.
Mhm.
So, but not only that, but like when you're done, if you go to a 3 day event, 2.5 day event, like you're not really ready the next weekend to go. If you come back home and you have a full-time job, or you have family, you have kids, you got your work, your whatever, you're busy, you got to come back and take care of your gear. But if
Yeah.
it's muddy, you got to clean it and then let it dry out. And listen, kids, do not, and I say kids as in guys in your 20s or whatever, okay? You're not kids, but you are to me, okay? I'm old. But if you go to a mill sim, don't come back from the mill sim and neglect your gear and just stick it into a bin and forget about it. It will be moldy and it'll smell like a dead animal if you open that container 3 months later. Okay? I'm telling you. And then you'll have to buy new gear. Okay? Because that shit is very hard to scrub out. So take care of your gear as soon as you get home, even though you won't feel like it. Wash it and let it dry out, and then pack it away. Okay? Pro tip. Telling you. From experience. My boys came home and stuffed all their shit in a bins. Were tired as hell. And they forgot about it. 2 months later, another mill sim comes up. Oh, shit. It smelled like death. Okay.
No. Dude, that Mill Sims will wear you out.
They
Will it
do,
not?
bro.
That is crazy how wore out you'll get. And I'll be like sore, dude. That next week I'll just be like, bro, just leave me alone. I just want to rest.
Uh-huh.
It's insane. I thought therapy was rough.
I know, right?
Our first meal sim we went to, it was, and we had to like run and stuff. I was still I was still wearing a brace, like a small
Mm,
brace on my
yeah.
knee, and I was just like kind of limp running, and I was like, I better just walk. This is awful.
Yeah.
But even then, dude, I was sore. Like my thighs were just burning
Sure.
and everything, and it was
Well, you're
super
carrying
cold.
gear, you're carrying things, you're moving your body in a way that you don't normally do, because you're carrying, unless you're in the military, like active duty, where you're training and you carry this stuff all the time, your body's used to it.
Mhm.
You go out there, once every 3 months to do all this stuff. You wear, especially like helmets, man, bro.
Yeah,
When I went in the military, the pain of wearing these helmets for, more than 2 hours or whatever, and then your backpack, we call it an Alice pack, but the straps cutting into your shoulders,
Yeah.
Because when you first put it on, man, you know, we're young, we're in shape, whatever. It's like, yeah, this is a 70-pound pack, whatever, dude. Like, you know, I can do 1,000 push-ups. Okay, shut up. You wear this thing for like 2 hours straight. You're like, bro, I think my shoulders are gonna like literally fall off. Okay, like I want them to because it hurts so bad. But yeah, you're using stuff in your body that you don't normally use on the daily. So your boots, your backpack, your helmet, your freaking, you know, shit's in places that you don't like. Your straps are rubbing stuff raw, and it's yeah. You have to recover when you come back from those.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I hate the or not hate, but I strongly dislike the people that, because there's like a big we noticed this at Wargate too, but there's like a big like thing around, like, you know, airsofters are, you know, they're doing it because they couldn't do the real thing, you know,
Oh
in the
yeah, right,
military and
right,
stuff.
yeah.
And dude, at Wargate and this last event we went to, there was more veterans there than there was airsofters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, man, okay, so at Wargate, these guys pulled up on these motorcycles, and they were like, they said that they were like, oh, these guys out here doing this because they, you know, they couldn't do the real thing, and then and like everybody got kind of mad about it,
Yeah.
and like the guy got off his motorcycle and he's like got down and like was taking pictures of his motorcycle, and I was like, look at him, look, look what he's doing, bro.
Uh-huh.
He's down
Yeah,
there
that
like
is a
laying
thing.
on the ground taking pictures of his bike. And he's, you know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so what if it is anyway? Like I have a lot of friends that tried to go in the military and they got
mhm.
rejected because they had I don't know, like bad eyesight. One guy had asthma. He couldn't go in. Like you're okay, he's born with that, whatever. Um,
This is
it-
kind of like the where he gets to, you know, and
yeah,
some of these veterans, this is like
it's
something that
therapy for
helps
him
them. Yeah, it's
for
therapy.
sure.
This like
Dude,
helps them.
absolutely. Like, who cares if it is? Who cares if it is the reason they go play is because they couldn't go in the military? My boys, my two older boys, they got into airsoft. They played football since they were like in fifth grade. Okay,
Hmm.
they are both 6'1". Now they've been out of high school for quite a few years. Um, they're 320 pounds. Okay, they were offensive linemen in football. So they get out of high school and they talked about going to military because I always talked about the military and stuff. I never pushed my kids to go into military. I just told them stories, you know, if they'd ask or whatever. So they were like, "Oh, we want to go in the military." I'm like, "Okay, I mean, you can. You're gonna have to lose a lot of weight because you ain't. They're not going to give you a waiver for that your weight because offensive linemen. Yeah, they're strong. I mean, my son was squatting like 500 pounds. Okay,
Hmm.
as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and benching a shit ton of weight. So they're very strong, but their body fat percentage is still like they're not getting a waiver for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have
Yeah.
to cut. Okay, and I was like, "Do you want to do that amount of work? Because that's what you're gonna have to do. Like number one, that's what you're gonna have to do to pass this physical." And they're like, "Yeah, I don't know." I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do like airsoft, all right?" Yeah, I mean, it's great, dude. Like, there's who knows why somebody didn't like if they chose to not go in the military or if they couldn't. Who cares? It's great that they have an option to do something like this and build some camaraderie and some teamwork and like, dude, they learn a lot, life
Yeah.
lessons doing a
That's
mil
what
sim.
that's what I was, you know, we were all talking about when those guys said all that. It's like, dude, I wouldn't know, you know, I wouldn't know any of this kind of stuff
Yeah,
if I hadn't have been here. I started off on a local field, and now I'm doing these mill sims. It's like,
yeah,
this is all I want to do. This is like, you know, I wasn't built for the military. I'll
yeah,
say that right now. I wasn't built for the military.
yeah,
Um, it's a cool thing to me though. I love that kind of stuff. I don't, you know, unless I really had to, you probably wouldn't find me in some kind of war.
yeah.
But dude, this is like, you know, this is probably about as close as I'll get to being out there with these veterans and running around and
Oh, dude, it's
experiencing the kind of
great.
stuff that they did.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like,
And
what a
then,
good opportunity to get around. There's nothing else out there
mhm.
that offers that kind of experience.
And we're going to these like abandoned forts and military facilities, training facilities. Like
Hmm.
this is like, you know, this is like some crazy like you don't get to see stuff like this every day.
No, not only that, but you come away from that 3 days, 2.5 days, whatever. You could go in there with no knowledge at all of
Hmm.
any kind of tactical awareness or training, and just observing, even if you didn't have somebody teaching you while you're doing, just observing another team or another, couple guys that are running with you, whatever, that have that kind of experience, whether it's from the military or whether it's from playing mil sims for 20 years, you're going to learn a shit ton
Yeah.
just in that
I have.
weekend. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like I said, it's insane. And 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 then there's like a ton of money in this stuff. Like people will be like, look at airsoft guns, they're like, oh man, you look at them like they're toys, but dude, my Vector was $700.
Exactly. We bought one of those.
It's not a toy.
Hmm.
Yeah, so and then like, I've got hundreds of dollars in my other ones because I've got the Gen 2 that I fully built, you barrel, hop up, everything. And
Yeah.
then my Vector, I put a speed trigger in it. That's all I've done to it. That's one of my favorite guns.
Yeah,
And
they look badass too. Yeah.
oh yeah, they're awesome. And then my HPA AK, I'm rebuilding the jack in it, but I've got a ton of money in it. I
Yeah.
mean, and these people like, there's these guns are they're not cheap.
Dude,
And as soon as you start upgrading parts, it just gets even
forget
more
it.
expensive.
When I was talking to, we were talking about speed softers earlier. When I was talking, I've had a bunch of them on, all right, and all over the world. So Bondo was just on. So Bondo de Don is his Instagram.
Hmm.
So he is a speed softer. He starts talking, and he's been playing competitively for a long time. Okay, and he starts talking about, these are pistols. Okay, these are pistols that these speed softers are playing with, most of them. And he's like, we got these guys come out here with these $13,000 guns, and I go, what? What? I'm like, dude, okay, this is crazy. He's like, yeah, like this one I got on my bed over here. That's like 11 grand. I was like,
That is
okay,
insane, dude.
but it shoots flawlessly. Okay,
Yeah.
which is kind of unusual in airsoft because there's a lot of things that go wrong with airsoft guns, with the feeding, right? It doesn't feed or it double feeds, and
Yeah.
just that thing there right there is probably the most common thing we've had. And yeah, so who
That's
knows?
how when we were building my Lancer, it wasn't lined up. Probably it was lined up enough to, get the BB through, but it was like I had to swap pop ups because
Mm,
my Pro Win just wouldn't line up correct, and it was like it would double feed and then it wouldn't feed and then it
yeah.
would shoot good, and it was just like random. And I went out to Doomsday and I was like trying to shoot, and it was like, you know, like not shooting, and I was like, oh crap, dude, this sucks. So
Uh-huh.
had to go get the Vector. Vector's never let me down, dude.
Oh, good.
I've never the only thing I've done is, like I said, the speed trigger. That's the
Yeah.
only upgrade I've done. And then of course I put a tracer unit on it, and then a like it's like a battery extender. So
Hmm.
because those Vectors, you can't get a battery in there. There's like no way to get a
No,
battery in it.
that's like half of the airsoft guns we ever got. I'm like, where do you put the battery on this
Yeah.
shit, bro? Good
So,
lord.
and then I was electric for a long time, and
Yeah.
Nick and them finally convinced me to go HPA, and so I
Okay.
got I got the AK, and then rebuilt it and bought an HPA kit, and it's changed my life entirely because
Yeah.
it's got more reach than any gun I got,
Oh, for sure.
and it's like consistent,
Uh-huh.
and I made a good purchase when I done that. I think so, because when I was at Wargate, I was like shooting, as far as like Nick's sniper would shoot, and it was like, dude, this is insane.
Yeah. And it's quiet. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
have that
quiet. Don't have
grinding
that
gear
yeah,
sound or whatever.
yeah. Like my
Wow.
Lancer sounds like the gears are just like clackling
Oh,
together.
dude, it sounds like it's struggling so hard to get this BB out of the barrel.
Yeah, but it shoots so good.
Uh-huh.
It's like 1.5 joules. It's perfect. It's like
Yeah.
on the dot, and it's like it shoots straight and
Yeah.
everything. But like it sounds horrible, dude. It's like, especially if you put like a quiet suppressor on the end of it,
Yeah.
and it's like that's all you hear is the gears, just like
Yes.
clank.
It's so loud. Well, it's right here too by your face. We had this. We were doing these mystery boxes, right? That's how our channel started, unboxings and stuff. And
Yeah,
so we were getting the BOAs from Evic, and it was so we're getting some normal gun like that, like a lot of Lancers, a lot of medium type of guns or whatever that were or starter guns, and they're okay. They're like some of them feed, some of them don't, some of them whatever.
yeah.
And we got this one. We opened this box, and it was a I don't remember the brand. I have to go back and look at the video, but it was an AK-47, and it was really long. It was really cheap. Okay, when you lifted the box, we're like, oh, this has got to be one of those, fake, like just everything's plastic and flimsy, and it was. Okay, so we opened it up, and we're like, a few days later, we were doing the review on it. We take it out here, and it's shooting really quiet. We're like, oh, this thing's gonna suck. Okay, it's probably shooting like 200 FPS. All right, this thing was badass, bro. Now, it probably wouldn't last very long, right? Like on the field or for a 3-day milsim, but for the 2 days that we tested it, we probably put, I don't know, 1,000 BBs through this thing, okay?
Yeah.
And this thing was 410 FPS or something, somewhere around there, consistent and super straight, bro. Like, I was like, what the hell? And it was a cheap brand. Like when we looked up, because they show like the list of options or guns that you have from that are in your BOA, right? Whichever one you got. So we're like, holy shit, this gun's cheap as hell, and it's like it's flint. I mean, it's gonna break if you fall, if you run into a tree, bro, you're done. Okay, but it is. It was crazy. It was quiet, and this thing was shooting lasers, and I'm like, what? It's so wild. Like some of these guns, you just like, I never heard of this brand. It's not very good. It feels like shit. Like it's a piece of, it's a paperweight. And then it goes out there and like shoots great. It's so weird, but it wouldn't last.
Back in the day, we ordered guns off eBay. Me and my buddy Jason did. Nick, he ordered the Lancer off like out of the, like we come up with the idea like let's shoot each other with airsoft guns.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, okay. So he like bought a Lancer Gen 2. And then he was like, you guys got to buy this. And I was like, man, I ain't spending $150 on an airsoft gun. I don't want to do all that. So got on eBay and I ordered like a $40 airsoft AK. And it literally fell apart in my hands.
Oh God.
So I ended up getting the Gen 2. And we all end up getting the Gen 2s. And then, like I said, we probably played like 3 rounds at my house with just us. And, as soon as we shoot each other, we're like, oh, man, this sucks. I ain't doing this anymore.
It
we
doesn't feel good.
We didn't have any vests, dude. We didn't have any, I don't even think we had eye protection, to be honest with you.
I mean, that's how I grew up. We were shooting each other with BB guns when I was a kid. We were Daisy 1 pumps, and once we all got Crossman 10 pumps, we're like, okay, only 5 pumps. You cannot go 10, okay? Like, don't. So, and we had nothing. We would go out there in a jeans and t-shirt and tennis shoes, no sunglasses, no nothing. And thank God none of us lost an eyeball. So
yeah, we thought about that. It was like, dude, we could have like really damaged ourselves. It was like we didn't know what we were doing.
Nah.
We were just having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The boys will be boys, man. That's what we do. We're not thinking of the safety things first, okay?
Yeah. Now I go out there and like I've got razors, helmet, X-Fog, glasses like that are sealed.
Oh, thank God for X-Fog, bro. Good God.
Yes, dude.
Holy cow. When they first introduced it to me, I was like, this is amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm telling you, dude, my stuff used to fog up so bad and it was like the worst. I'd have to hold my goggles out, hope the wind would blow so to like clear them up and then put them back on and start again.
Yes.
But X-Fog will change your life.
Oh, 100%.
Anybody listen, it's $45. Just buy the kit.
100% worth it. 100% worth it.
100%.
Yes, because after like 15 minutes, you're all excited. You're out there. You start and you go. All right, man, I'm ready to. And you have to trek kind of a long way to find the enemy. Okay. And then by the time you get there, you can't see. So
Yeah.
you're effed. All right. You ain't shooting shit. So, and you're on the field. It's not like you can take them off and freaking wipe them out. Okay.
Yeah. If you do,
so,
you have to find like an admin to come over. It's like a whole deal.
Oh, it's
to find an admin,
process.
come over and like, block you, and then you still got to be like, all right, you still got to be careful.
For real. Yeah, those BBs find the little cracks. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't have gloves, or if you had fingerless gloves, you have gloves protect your knuckles, but fingerless gloves, it's going to find your fingernail.
Oh yeah, that's
it's like the
worst.
Airsofters code. I don't know what it is. The curse or something.
The way I look at it is that's like the first thing that you're peeking with, like your gun. You're like creeping around, and then like your head's out.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Don't head shoot," but like that's all you're gonna see, because
that's all you're seeing.
When I'm peeking a corner, it's my gun and my head, and my hands. So that's what me and Nick were talking about. It's like that. No wonder we get shot in the hand so much. It's because we're peeking corners.
That's
like that.
What's showing. Well, that's what when I had Kicking Mustang on here, and because of all the drama going on with him, like everyone over in the UK is trying to ban him everywhere. It's like I've actually invited people on after I had Kicking Mustang on.
Yeah.
I invited people on here in different countries or whatever, and they were like, I've had a couple people tell me, hey, I don't want to talk about Kicking Mustang. And I'm like, okay, like whatever, dude, like don't talk about him then, because I'm talking to you. Like I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna ask you what you think about him, or if that's what you're afraid of. I don't know, but it's like such a weird thing that's a controversy when especially the places he plays, headshots are allowed, most of them, and that's what's the only thing that's showing.
Yeah,
peeking from behind a tree. What do you think's going to get shot, bro? Like wear face protection if you don't want to get your tooth shot out.
Yeah. So I've been going out there with no face protection. I just have like goggles, helmet, and then sometimes I'll have a schmog, but most of the time I look like like the operator look.
Yeah.
I go out there with just like a plate carrier, and then my mag holster, and then my helmet and goggles.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The mask has gotten so, like, I used to wear a mask all the time, but I just haven't been able to wear it. It's just a nuisance to me.
Yeah.
And I got shot in the face. It's not as, I'm sure I can get shot worse, but like the shots that I've been shot in the face haven't been bad. So
no,
I've just been kind of taking my chances.
Yeah. Take your chance, man. That's milsims. That's what a lot of people want to do, is look like the part. So they're not going to wear a dye mask. Most people aren't going to wear a dye mask on the milsim field. It looks dumb.
Yeah.
And mostly because of the looks. And you don't want to play that part. And I played paintball, and now we would wear full face masks. Paintballs hurt like hell, bro.
Yeah.
They got some weight behind them. Okay. You don't want to get shot in the face with that shit. But yeah, and my boys, a lot of times they're not wearing face protection. They're wearing the goggles, they're wearing the helmet, they're wearing the headphone, the whole radio setup. Okay. It's built into the helmet and all, attached to the helmet, all kind of shit, the bow fangs and whatever. So they got the whole getup. And I love it. My thing, and this is what a lot of people say, about this headshot deal is, we don't care what you do. That's fine. Just don't bitch about it. That's all we're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So take your chances and don't whine about it.
They've not got onto Nick, but there's people that has complained to Nick about him, sniping them, and hitting them in the head. But it's like, that's literally like you're peeking with your, like, if you don't want to get shot in the face, peek with your ass. You know what I mean? So he got to where he was like, just like, dude, you're peeking with your head. Like, do you want me to wait till you like run across the field and then shoot you? Yeah, and then they'll just come up with something stupid like, well, you could have just shot me in the shoulder or something.
Yeah,
it's like,
no, not doing all that. Not doing all that.
He likes woods. That's like his thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm more of a. The only time I really get scared when I'm not wearing a mask is with close, like when we're close in a building or something, and
Oh,
you know I come around the corner and somebody's just full autos me with an SMG or something,
oh yeah,
and I'm
bro.
like, oh.
Yes,
But
that wouldn't feel good.
most of the time they're just when they're shooting, they're just praying and spraying.
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily aiming; they're just like aiming with the BBs from what
Hmm.
I have experienced.
Well, I was going to
So
ask you, have you guys played Speedsoft at all?
I've never we've had speed softers come on the field with us, but I've never been the wrath of it. I've never had to
Yeah.
get shot by them. But
There's
when I
this.
got that AK, it was set up for speed soft.
Oh, was it?
So yeah,
Okay.
you could touch it and it would shoot 50 rounds a second. It was like eek eek. It was like
Bro,
insane. Yeah,
what?
I had to change that real quick. I
For real?
was like, they're not going to allow this.
No. Yeah, a lot of them do have. A lot of the indoor fields have RPS limits because it's too many. Because by the time you let go of the trigger, there's like 100 BBs going out already. Like every shot you're getting is overshooting. Like even if you're not trying.
Yeah, you just like tap the trigger and it's like 50 rounds. You're like, bro, what are you doing? It's like that
instant
kid
fight, instant fight. Okay.
it's like the kid in the in that video, the classic video,
Yes.
where he's like,
No full auto in the
yeah,
building.
no full auto in the building. Like, this ain't full auto. This is. And he's like, eek.
Oh
He's
my
like, oh
God.
shit, my bad, dude.
It really sounds like a minigun.
That's
Like
how
just
Nick's SMG sounds.
oh my God.
It was like I've got a slow motion video. I think it's on my YouTube channel, but I've got a slow motion video of him shooting like full auto out of
Yeah.
his SMG, and it's a literal line like shooting. It is
Yes.
insane. And
Does
he
he
was
have
only
a
shooting.
tracer on it too?
Yeah, it was like nighttime slow motion trace around it. It was insane.
Do you have your videos? I kind of want to see it, to be honest. Do you have your videos broken up on a playlist
Yeah,
like
if
Airsoft?
you, I think if I'm not sure. I think I got an airsoft playlist on there somewhere.
Actually, do you know where the video is? I'll pull it up real quick. Here, let me share the screen, and then you can tell me how far down it is.
Go to my shorts real quick,
Okay.
and then
Oh, speaking of your shorts, hold on a second. This basketball one, dude, I saw this. What did you do? Is this edited? Is this just all editing tricks?
No, I pumped it up with like 80 pounds of pressure and threw it on the ground, and it exploded.
Oh my God! Did it really make that sound?
Yeah, dude, I couldn't hear it.
Whoa.
I had my razors on in the video. If you click the video, you'll see me like have razors on
I
because it
want
was
people to
so
see this,
loud.
bro. Hold on a second.
It sounded like a shotgun went off. It was insane.
I watched this thing like 20 times in a row, bro. I'm telling you. I was like, is this edited? Like, what? How did this happen? I've never seen a basketball explode like that.
I hadn't either. That's why I was like, and the internet.
What gave you this idea?
I seen like videos of like these YouTubers doing it, and they were going to like basketball courts,
Yeah.
and they were like throwing them down in middle of basketball games and then making them explode.
Oh God.
And the neighbor, I just bought a basketball goal like 2 weekends ago, and before this, I didn't have a basketball goal, and the
Right.
neighbor put 2 basketballs in my yard like they were mine, and I was
shit.
like, I don't know what to do. I guess just let's explode them. And I was like looking on the internet, and they're like, yeah, pump it to like 80 psi and slam it on the ground. And dude, I could like let go of the ball, and it would like bounce higher than me.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was insane.
That
yeah,
is crazy.
The noise it makes is like insane.
It
It's
is.
so loud. Like
I mean-
I live in a subdivision, and
Yeah.
like everybody was like running outside.
What was that?
They like thought it was a car crash or something.
I mean, that's crazy, dude. Okay. I love that. I love that. All right, so where's this laser beams? We're shooting
Let's
lasers.
see.
You
What
got a
did I
bunch of
do with it?
cool shorts, man, because you got so many different, such a variety. The car
Yeah.
stuff, the basketball, obviously. I see your podcast stuff here. That's cool.
Yeah, we haven't made an episode in like a month.
Yeah.
We were releasing every Friday, but the two hosts that help me with that kind of stuff, there's me going through a garage door. That's my Ford Focus I was telling you about.
Is this like an abandoned house?
Us, my buddy, he's got like 3 garages, and this is like his like abandoned garage that he has.
Oh, that's wild.
So we always like just do crazy stuff in there, like drive through the building and stuff like that.
That's funny.
But yeah, I can't remember what I was saying before that.
Your podcast. You guys haven't done a podcast in a while?
Yeah, we haven't done one in a pretty good minute. But he got a little busy, so
it gets difficult, man, when you have multiple people that need to be on. It really does. That was one of the things I found was difficult for like scheduling when I was trying to do one that had multiple of the same, like a co-host and multiple people. They were like, we would get like a day before, and they'd go, "Oh, can we reschedule this?" And I'm like, "Oh shit,"
Yeah. There's some of my streaming, like that's that second video out there beside my Miata. That's like some of my that's what we used to stream 5M, and that's when I was like hurt.
Oh, this when your legs messed up?
Yeah.
You're healing up? Okay. What'd you say? GTA 5, buddy. I love that.
That was a fun time because all my friends were just there, and like we're just in these public servers, just like talking to random people and just doing crazy stuff.
That's what I love about GTA, man. Like online,
yeah,
you talk to people through your mic. Your character's talking to these guys, and it's so funny, man.
Yeah. But this was like a really good time because like all my friends were there and supporting me and cool. Making sure like I wasn't gonna like go stir crazy. So we would be on till like I don't know 6 o'clock in the morning, dude. Just chilling with friends playing games. It was felt like a kid again. It was insane. But they all kept me like uplifted and look, there's my where it says, "Man, I live a wild life." That I jumped a Subaru Impreza or a Subaru. I think this is it. I can't remember. This was that Miata I was talking about earlier. This on like
crazy,
razor tires.
Look at this thing. There's no. I mean, you got zip ties.
Yeah.
Holding the shit on. Like, there's no hood. There's probably no grill, I'm guessing.
Go down a little bit on the shorts, and you'll see what it looks like.
Can anyone tell?
See, there should be a video of it, like doing donuts and stuff. That's that Ford Focus.
Yeah, that's that Focus. Oh, nice, dude.
I told you we were doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, Rogan, yeah. Whoops.
I thought there was one of me doing like donuts. That like shows it well on razor tires and stuff. Keep scrolling down. Should be on there somewhere. Keep going a little more. It's like it was in my garage. Oh, okay. It's like the video where I started out at.
Dude, you got a lot of short videos on here.
Yeah, there it is, right there. The
Right here?
second one, yeah, or I'm sorry, the one before that.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
This thing's crazy, bro. I mean, crazy. Where did you find this one? This one you found in the woods?
No, this one I bought from or my good buddy Rocky. Me and him did a little trade deal. I traded a full car for this car, and then I tore it apart.
That is crazy.
That was an insane car. Like, if you cut a Miata up and put razor tires on it, you'll have the best time of your life. It's insane.
I just look at how this thing is like something out of Fallout, bro. Like, you just are putting, like, sticking shit on here and it runs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Duct tape and frickin'
So also the crazy thing is building that car. The summer I built that car, that car made me like $4,000 on YouTube. It was like around $3,000 or $4,000 on YouTube.
That's awesome.
Just like putting videos of us cutting that Miata up.
Yep.
It like made me so much money. And
yeah,
just
dude. Well,
just
people like watching that.
Yeah, just from doing like YouTube stuff. It was insane.
Well, let's find that one you're talking about, your buddy shooting lasers.
Let's see.
Would it be back this far? Oh no, that's the beginning of your.
No, yeah, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be back that far. I can. You got your Discord up, don't you?
Yes.
I can send you a Discord message real quick.
I do have my Discord.
I think I may have only posted it in. Whatchamacallit? Can I post in one of your things?
Yeah, I can share the screen. Or you can share the
here.
screen. You should be able to share the screen if you want to do that.
I'll just put it in general chat.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, the guys will love it.
I just got back from New York too, so that I have like a ton of pictures where we were in New York.
Like now, you were in New York recently?
Yeah, I went there. We went there like 2 weeks ago for vacation.
Oh wow! Like New York City?
Yeah, Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I think this is the.
I've never been. I've been to a couple places in New York, but they were all out in the woods.
Oh yeah, it's a cool. Manhattan's a wild place. Just
I bet.
I put it in a general chat in your Discord.
All right, let me share this screen now.
But yeah, the Manhattan's a wild place. Like if you go out there and check all that out, is insane. I think this is the right video. It should be a slow-mo of Nick's gun.
Sounds slow-mo. Yeah. That's slow-mo. That's crazy, dude. Holy cow.
I wish I had a video of it like I know he's got one, but I wish I had a video of it like during the day and not slow-mo. Dude, it is a laser.
Oh yeah.
It is insane.
Yeah, those things are crazy, bro. So what do you got planned for what kind of gear? Is there a certain gun you want to build or whatever? Because if you're looking to stick with or if you would like to do like AEGs or like have a really good AEG, look up Russell's Customs. He's using brushless motors, and these things frickin' slap, dude. Like they sound like and they feel like gas blowback rifles because he puts weights in them for recoil.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, these things are awesome.
I'm looking to get another M4. I thought about um HPA in my M4 that I have, and going from there. But I looked at the Daniel Defense, like I can't remember what it exactly it's called. So Daniel Defense M4, and it's got like the full like rack, like it racks when it shoots. Dude, that is sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would love to have something like that. And then I also want to ship my Vector off to Airsoft Junkies and just let them HPA it.
Yeah,
because they got to do like the 3D printed and thing to hold everything in there. They've got like a whole system they do. But I thought about doing that. After seeing Nick's going to see HPA'd his SMG.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that is sick.
Uh-huh.
But of course I would just use it in, skirmish games, just like random games. And then during the mil sims I'd run my M4.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
most people don't use most people use AEGs for mil sims because they last longer.
Yeah. I got like not backlash. I had a guy like comment on my Facebook. I don't know, I can't remember who it is, but he's like from Mississippi, and dude, he commented because I had a drum mag on my Vector during the skirmish game, so it was just like playing around and stuff. It wasn't even like the mil sim. It was like you just hanging out or whatever. And he was like, drum mag at a mil sim, blah blah blah. And I was like, I was like, this was an actual mil sim. This was like, a skirmish game. He was out there playing team deathmatch, playing around, and he started arguing with me on the thing, and all I did was say, I said something about, I was like, bro, leave me alone.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to post pictures of a fun
just
weekend.
Keep scrolling, man. If you don't like it, just keep scrolling. Okay.
Yeah, because I posted pictures of us at the mil sim, and I had like my M4, and then I had my Vector, and I had mid caps in it. 'Cause that's all you're allowed to have.
Yeah.
Mid caps during a mil sim.
Right.
And there's a badass picture of me just like walking with my Vector up, and it's got a mid cap on it. And I was trying to explain that to him, like during the mil sim we had this, and he was like, I was like, stop it, you loser.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. He was like, a loser that makes more money than you.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
what?
One of those guys.
I was like, Lord. What? And then I just called him out. I was like, I said, well, show me that pay stub, baby girl. He posted some kind of screenshot, dude. It was like Little Debbie's. He was like, I don't have a pay stub when you work for yourself. And he just went on to it. And I said, and before I could comment on something or comment on it, my friends like just started dogging him, and he ended up deleting his comment.
That's funny.
It was hilarious.
When I've seen that before, where people go to that, like, I make more money than you, and I'm like, what? I don't.
It's like, what even sparked that idea?
and by the way, what does that even mean? Like, that doesn't really say anything about that you're better, or that I don't know. Like, what? Okay.
All I did was call him a loser, and I was like, leave me alone, you loser.
Yeah, dude, that's funny. Yeah, people get a little squirrely on there with if you post stuff with mil sim gear. You're always gonna have the one guy that's he's been to one mil sim, he's never had any kind of training, he's never had any kind of experience, he's been to one, and so now oh man, I spent 2.5 days in the shit, bro. Okay. And it was muddy, and my boot got full of mud, and man, we were in it, okay? And now I know everything about tactical stuff, so how dare you have a drum mag in your picture?
Yeah, dude.
God.
Dude, these mil sims, they'll have like the coolest dudes there, like,
oh, absolutely.
And then there's veterans there that are like cool as shit, and they'll give you the jacket off their back, know. And but dude, Airsoft brings out some characters. I don't know if you get this a lot. It brings out some characters.
Oh, for sure.
So at our local fields, we have this guy we call Cat Ears, and he like, I've never had. I don't want to sort of put this out there just in case he watches this. I've never had a bad dealing with him. but
Yeah.
we call him cat ears because he wears cat ears.
Yeah.
He wears skirts and stuff when he
Yeah,
plays airsoft.
okay,
And
gotcha.
it's I don't know if he's playing a character or if that's just how he is.
Right, because there's a lot of cosplayers that go out there. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we had a joke like when we went to American Milsim Black Site 3.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're gonna finally we're away from the hometown dudes that you're just kind of weird, bro. We're out here, we're just hanging out or whatever. And then we get there and it was this guy. He's a cool guy. I talked to him. He added me on like Facebook and stuff, but he had cat ears on his helmet, dude. I was like, dude, we can't get away. And he was our squad leader, bro.
Oh no! Oh shit!
Me and Nick looked at each other. It was like, we can't win.
Like what? Oh no! Wait, what happened? Like, this is more of a real milsim type of thing that you're going to, bigger event. Okay, so all these dudes are going to be tactical, and you get there and they're somebody's dressing like cosplay stuff. Like, what the hell, bro?
They had like cat ears on him, and then and dude, it was like me and him just looked at each other like, this is the funniest shit ever because it's like we can't get away from the characters.
There's a lot of milsims that have uniform restrictions or requirements and certain restrictions where you wouldn't be able to do stuff like that. And it's obviously for a reason they're trying to do a full immersion almost kind of experience for the weekend where it's military ops, right?
Yeah.
And so in the military on a whatever mission or whatever, you're not going to have cat ears walking around. Like that's not a thing. Okay. so there's a lot of places a lot of events, they won't really allow stuff like that,
Yeah. That's why we were like, cause that's what we were expecting when we went there is like sort of that, like, cause they were very, they're very strict. Like we had to buy all new outfits to go. And
it's usually the camo type, yeah.
And then we get out there, and then we get paired up with like he ended up being our squad leader. And
that's like, crazy, bro.
He's insane.
That's funny.
Yeah, but we just laughed about it, and we ended up we were only with them for like I don't know, maybe like an hour.
Yeah.
We were holding this room or whatever, and then they ended up like going downstairs and just taking off. When leaving us up, and so more guys end up coming in there, and we all like held the room at Black Site for a very long time. But yeah, it was like we ended up losing them like an hour into the game, and we played for like I think it was like 6 hours. We was out there. So we never seen them until like the end when we come back, and it was like, "There you guys are. Where were you?" It was like, "We're in the same room we've been in for the past 3 hours. Where have you been?"
Well, there's a time and a place for those things, for all these kind of uniforms or costumes or everything. There's that's one of the things I like about this whole community is that there's somebody putting on some kind of event somewhere that has, a cosplay event type of thing or a LARPing event that, you're supposed to play a part. You're supposed to dress up. You're supposed to, Balahack has the Western one, they dress up like the Old West.
Oh, dude, that would be so sick.
For real. And
I want to do that.
Those are strict. Like you've got to have time period guns and gear and like all kind of stuff. You can't have, newer technology things mixed in there or nothing like that. Like it's and then the zombie ones, and then 6mm Mandalorian. I've had him on a couple times. He puts on a Star Wars event called Galactic Civil War out in Missouri, and those are cool. And so, but yeah, there's a time and a place for that. So it's I'm going to tell you where you won't get away with cat ears. Milsim West event.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they have really strict, probably the strictest military. I mean, they're, I think, the only real milsim event out there, as far as what the word means. So yeah, you won't have that. But most of these other ones are kind of strict about the uniforms. But yeah, sometimes. Like I've talked to a bunch of people. There's probably like 4 guys I've talked to around the different parts of the world that play airsoft in a kilt every time they go play.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I hope you were wearing something underneath so, you know, you're not kneeling the wrong way and get a nut shot, bro. That would,
That's what that guy, he wears it. Well, it's Mount Doom is our local field. That's what he would wear. It's like it's like a legit skirt and I was like, that's gonna hurt, bro. You're gonna get shot, and that's gonna suck. And
it's like, where's the LMG guy? Hey, lay down some covering fire, okay? There's your target.
But yeah, I want to be more when we try to go to these mil sims. I try to do like the military side of it. The Wargate we were Russian,
yeah,
and so I kind of went all out on it. They were like, you know, if you're Russian, you know, wear green, like some kind of forest green or whatever. Dude, I bought a tracksuit. I bought a Russian Adidas green tracksuit.
Oh, you're gonna look like who was it? Nico from Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. Okay.
Dude, it was like I'll put a picture in Discord, dude. It was cool.
That's funny.
Me and my squad leader were the only ones in Russian tracksuits. Everybody else was like military, like Russian green. I was like, dang it, dude. But it was still cool. I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
Well, you guys were the bosses, okay? The bosses wear that's awesome. Hold on, let me share this. The bosses wear tracksuits. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was there in the mil sim. So you got my Vector with the mid cap in it, and it's got like the flashlight and the 3 times on it. That's a sweet gun, man. I love that thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
yeah, you got the tracksuit.
But I'll tell you what, dude.
It's a perfect color, though. I mean, it's literally olive drab.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my buddy Rooster, which is he is like he was the squad leader. He owns Screaming Goat Squad.
Okay.
He was in a Russian tracksuit as well, but his was like tiger print. It was great.
Oh, that's funny.
But we had fun. It was a good time.
That's awesome. Now so do you have any siblings that run all this stuff with you?
I do not. But my daughter, I just came back from this last mil sim.
Yeah.
And my daughter's like, I want to go to this kind of stuff, and her friends are into it, and
oh, nice,
and stuff. Cause there's a huge airsoft community around here, and in this part of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's probably why our like Discord does so well and stuff like that. It's because the North Alabama is like, you know, it's a big mil sim, or not mil sim. There's a big airsoft community built around it.
Okay.
And but yeah, my daughter, you know, some of her friends are like, you know, do this kind of stuff. So, and she was like, I want to get into this. So we're looking at guns and vests and uniforms, and it's getting real now. So they're actually, I'm going to go to Stonebreaker, and my family is going with me.
Oh,
and
nice.
They're going to be at the hotel and hang out. It's like a little vacation for them.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, they're going to be going with me this time.
Oh, that's cool.
So you get the whole family out and hang out with us.
Yeah, man. Very cool. Okay. Yeah, I like that, man. It's, you know, this is one of the things that it's a common theme that I've heard with a lot of people. Not only are they building camaraderie with their friends and new friends that they make, but with their families too, because there's a lot of people that do events, you know, like their spouses are into it as well. They're their partner or their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, like they're you know, the whole family you know, is getting involved, which is really cool, man, for a hobby like this where you can kind of do all that kind of stuff together. When I was playing paintball, there ain't no way my wife would go out there and play paintball. Okay. Ain't no way. I mean, we didn't want them out there anyway at the time. Like, we were using that as to blow off steam. These were all guys I worked with, right? Our work buddies. So we were like, this is our getaway. no girls allowed, right? Just the guys, and no rules. I mean, we were blasting the shit out of each other. Like, we were trying to get welts and trying to inflict pain on each other. So, and then we get done, and you know, we're comparing scars or welts, and you know, who's got the worst one and shit like that. Who's the toughest? Okay. So,
me and Nick have been friends for years, probably since I was like 16 years old, because we've both been in the car scene, race cars together and stuff like that. But and we used to game together, of course, and tried to stream together. Like, you know, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I do believe like the airsoft stuff brought us pretty close together, because we were going to like these events together and going to Mount Doom when we were just doing local fields and stuff like that. And so I believe airsoft brought us pretty close together. Now we're business partners and we're doing very well. Right. So I don't know. I don't think that would have happened unless, you know, airsoft would have pulled us together like that. So that's I think that's one of the cool factors in this whole airsoft thing that we've started doing. So
yeah. That's very cool, man. Absolutely. I mean, you got a lifelong friend, which is kind of unusual nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a couple of them that, you know, from the military that we're still close, and, you know, but yeah, that's cool, man. Well, dude, it's been so interesting hearing your story and getting to know you. I appreciate you being on here and being willing to share all your stuff, and appreciate you reaching out, how you found the channel and stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued as to what speed stops, because I don't know too many people. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who I've had on here that's from, or that plays in Alabama, and there's not too many, because I've had a ton of people on from like Tennessee. I've had a ton of people on from Pennsylvania, you know, and they're all, you know, like, they're not on the same team. You know, most of them, they're just like spread out throughout the state. So Florida, you know, stuff like that. But I'm trying to think, like, Alabama. I'm like, I'm gonna have to look up my videos, who was talking stuff on this, where you. But I'm glad we were able to meet. So however it happened, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, like I said, it drew attention to your channel. And so I started watching, like, I watched that video. I watched that video to see what he was saying.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I'm a big fan of podcasts.
Right.
And so I, like, you know, I have a desk job now. So, like, that's all I do is listen to podcasts, like, while I'm working. And I've listened to a bunch of your content, and I was like, dude, I want to jump on here and, you know, and hang out and talk and cool. And stuff like that. So. And my buddy Rooster, I think he's going to be on in the next couple of days or something like that. Rooster's the guy that owns Screaming Goat Squad.
So Rooster, shout out Rooster. He is so it's that Rooster. I didn't know. Okay, when you kept saying it, I'm thinking I didn't know. So do you know Sergeant Major Green?
I don't. I mean, don't
you know him online as far?
Yeah, I know him online, but I have never met him.
Okay.
He had like a big you know, like beef thing going on across the internet that I thought was,
he still does. Like, it's part of his, like, thing. It's like a shtick, you know. He's doing this this character, and I mean, it's funny, dude. It's funny. It's so funny. I laugh. Anyway, it's I find it hilarious. I think he's making fun of something, but in a fun kind of way, not in a mean way. Yeah. So I think it's funny, but yeah. So it's that Rooster. He's the one that told me about Rooster initially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sergeant Major Green. Yeah.
Yeah, Rooster's a cool dude. Like I said, he owns I believe he owns he's the one that come up with it. I know that.
Gotcha,
the Screaming Goat Squad. He's the one that asked me to be on the team, and I told him, I was like, I thought you'd never asked, bro.
Right.
He's a cool dude.
Cool.
I go to Mill Sims with him. I'm going to this next one, you know, with him, and I'll be there with Doomsday and all of them. They'll be there, of course.
Nice.
And but yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Well, give a shout out to your channel and where everybody can find all your stuff that you want to put out there.
If you want to, You can find me at Shawn Wayne Productions, and I post a bunch of videos there. I post airsoft content, but like I said, I'm not a full airsoft content creator. I post everything. I post mostly car stuff,
Yeah.
but I've got some cool videos on there, and I'm doing this everyday April. I'm doing this little vlog thing, everyday April thing. So you'll see some normal vlogs on there this month, but after that, it'll go back to normal uploads and stuff like that. But yeah, there, and then I've got my Mellow Mates podcast, which you could find on that YouTube channel as well. And shout out my buddy Airsoft Nick as well, because like I said, me and him are super close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out to Airsoft Nick. I just I followed him while we were talking when you first told me about him.
He's got some cool videos. He takes his time to really edit those videos.
Okay.
But me and him have little different situations. Like, he's only Airsoft, and then I'm like everything else. So
right,
me editing those Airsoft videos and trying to get them perfect, but I'm also editing like vlogs and car content and stuff like that. So I'm like, I take a little longer to upload the Airsoft videos.
Sure. I'm a I'm a podcast, like an Airsoft podcast, but majority of our podcasts are about about people's lives and their story and how they got to where they're at, and very little about Airsoft. It might be some of them are 50% Airsoft, some of them are like 10%. One guy I had on recently was a woodworker.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. We didn't talk about airsoft or paintball at all. He has nothing to do with that stuff. He is. I invited him on because he makes these custom dice boxes for like D&D players and stuff like that. And you know what's funny is I sent a screenshot to my buddy Brandon, who runs Skirmish. I was like, "Look, this is how much traction other things besides airsoft get online." Okay, so one of the reels I posted on Instagram of the woodworking thing, I made a little short, of him and I talking. That thing got like almost 13,000 views or whatever, on the Instagram reels. All my other airsoft reels, the highest ones, get like 800. Yeah. That's how much of a difference there is. And it's not like if it's even like that much more exciting, like what we're saying. It's just, bro, it just gets pushed, and the communities, it's not a niche thing, right? Woodworking is way bigger online for videos and stuff like that. So anyway, it's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I know what you mean though, but you're doing all kind of different things on here, which I love. I love your car stuff. I think, doing the basketball thing is hilarious. Bro, when I watched that the first time, I'm thinking, dude, that was so close to your head.
Dude, my sister, she seen the video and she called me immediately and she was like, "Dude, did you even see the basketball like fly by your head?" And I was like, "No, it happened so fast. Like, I threw it down and it exploded, and when it exploded, I like shut my eyes."
Yeah,
because I could hear it, but my razors like block out the pop. And I seen it explode, and I shut my eyes, and when I looked up, it was still in the air coming down. I was like, "That's how high it went." She was like, awesome. It literally like whizzed by your face.
It was so close, bro.
I was like, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, okay, broken nose, you'll be all right. Whatever. But yeah, that's cool, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Everybody listening and watching, go to Shawn Wayne Productions. Check out his stuff. I'll have all your links on here as well.
Thank you so much.
So I look forward to talking to you guys again, man. You and maybe your buddy, we could do team one or whatever later on after you guys have done a few events. And we'll hang out. It's fun.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. You have a good night.
You too. Peace.
Later, bro.